she just died. Looks like you're really they still haven't found him. And I'm like, please help me. So
I didn't know any of this.
Yes, it's just emotional, man.
No,
like, it was a lot. My dad died when I was 7, so my dad's parents, my grandparents took me in. My mom was on drugs pretty much my whole childhood. When I was living with my grandparents, when I was 12 years old, I was hanging out with some wrong people in school. I think I was in 6th grade, and we were just doing dumb stuff, man. And one day, after school, he's like, hey, man, you want to go hit a house? And I'm like, hit a house? What are you talking about? And he pulls out this handkerchief. And he's like showing me how to hide your fingerprints and like what we're going to. And I'm like, okay, this sounds cool. I'm a kid, and I'm just like, I don't really know what I was thinking at that time. I was just like, man, this sounds cool. These kids are cool. Let me go do what they're doing.
Right.
So we go into this kid's house that lived into my neighborhood. We had knew this kid, and his dad used to play for the Buccaneers. So we were like, well, they probably have money. So we went in. We ended up stealing like $10,000 in jewelry, a couple tennis bracelets. Right when we went in the house, the first door we opened, we went into the garage door, and we go to this room. We open it, and the whole floor of this room, it's an empty room with just hunting guns, knives, all types of collectible stuff. So my friend took some of that, and he took a clip like for a gun. He didn't even take the gun. He took a clip.
Right.
So when all that was done, we had all this jewelry, and we're like, well, we don't have any money, but we got jewelry. Like, what do we do with this? So he had his older sister pawn some of it. So, you know,
yeah, so she had to give him their license.
Right. So he was hitting houses before we hit this house. So he was already being looked at. And once I think they found his fingerprints in that first house, they linked it to all the other houses that were being hit. So I get him in 6th grade, and my friends are coming, like, I think it was biology or something, and he's across the hall, and I can see out the door of the classroom, and I see police going into the classroom, and I'm like, oh man, we're done. So I told the teacher I gotta use the bathroom. I lived like 35 minutes away from where the school was 35 minutes away from where I lived. And I didn't even get on the bus. I just walked home, like on the side of the road all the way home. I get home, I call my grandfather. I'm like, I'm done. They're going to come get me. And I'd already.
How old are you?
I'm 12. Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, it's done. I'm going for life. So he's like, just because I called them because when I got home, I was in the house and they got home at like 5. So I was like, when they get home, I'll just tell them. Well, all of a sudden, there's some banging on the door. The cops are there. They're walking around the house, banging on the sliding glass doors. I'm like, don't let them see me. That's when I called him. And he's like, just stay in the bedroom, stay under the bed, wait till I get home. Don't answer the door. So he comes home. My grandma comes home. She almost had a heart attack. He had to bring her to the fire department because her heart was like going crazy. And I'm crying, thinking my life's over. And so we got it. They hired me a lawyer, and we met with some detectives at the Land O'Lakes jail. They wanted to, like, I think, scare me by seeing the adult jail. They were like, you know, you could be looking at a lot of time. They charged me with grand larceny because we stole over $10,000 in jewelry. And then they charged me with armed burglary because we armed our process. We armed ourselves in the process of the burglary by
grabbing the clip.
Right. So I ended up getting probation for that until I was 18, and I got a juvenile program.
They gave you that 6 years of probation?
6. Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I was on juvenile probation. I went to a program, level 6 program, which was crazy. I really wanted to do good when I got out of there because I got introduced to the system and these programs, and I was like, well, if these juvenile programs are like that, I can't imagine what prison's like.
Right.
So I tried to do good for a little while, plus I was on probation, and then during that time, I was still doing dumb stuff, though. I was going to the movies with my friends, like going out in the front and just picking fights with random people to try to like impress girls and think that that was cool and just stupid stuff. And I ended up violating the probation. So I had to pay all this restitution. That was part of the thing with the armed burglary. I had to go to the people's house that I robbed with my grandfather, go into the house. Both parents are there, the kids there that I go to school with, and sit down and apologize to the parents about what happened and then pay the restitution. And after I went to the program and I got out, and the next time I violated, it got worked out with the attorney that if I could pay all the restitution I forget how long he gave me, but if I could pay it by this date, then they would terminate the juvenile probation. So my grandparents paid that, which got me off the probation. So when I was 18, I was hanging out with this kid I used to get weed from, and his name was Kenny. And he had this fiance named Candace, and I went over there one night on a Friday night. We were going to like go out and do stuff. And he said, hey, my friend Rob's coming over. He just got out of prison. He did like 5 years for robbing like Winn-Dixies and locking the managers in the safe back in the day and stealing all the money. Yeah. So I didn't know who he was. So I was like, oh, okay. So he shows up, and, you know, we're introduced each other, talking. We're at the house. We're like smoking bud before we go out.
Right.
And me and Kenny are there, and Candace is like, oh, I'm going to go take the trash out. So she had to walk to a dumpster out the front door. They lived in like a duplex. So the dumpster was like behind, and Rob's like, oh, I'll go with you. And like, so they left, and I'm sitting there with Kenny, but the way like they said it, it was like, man, that seems weird. Like, why wouldn't he just chill here with us? It just looked weird. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I don't know, that is kind of weird. He's like, whatever, screw it. So they come back. We end up going to this club. Well, we tried to go to multiple clubs, but every time we were on 19 and found like a bar or a club to go in, we weren't feeling it. So the girl Candace is like, hey, I know this club up on County Line Road that we can go to. It's called Miller's Pub. And we were like, man, that's far, because we're in Newport Richey. This is now in Hudson, Spring Hill area. It's like 1 a.m. So we end up going to this club she wanted to go to. It was like a bar / pool tables. And so when we show up, though, they were having a tuxedo night for some event they were doing there. And so we go in, the place is packed. And when we're in this club, I'm with Kenny and we're shooting pool. And right when we get there, this kid, Eddie, comes up to Kenny and he's like, hey, man, what's up? And he introduces himself. So he introduces himself to me. I never met the kid in my life before. And so then as the night's going on, we're all partying, drinking in the club, moving around. This same kid comes back up to me and Kenny at the pool table. And he's like, hey, man, didn't you just introduce that girl as your fiance to me? And he's like, Candace? He's like, yeah, it's my fiance. And he's like, well, why is she over there kissing your boy Rob, the kid that came with us out of the prison? We're like, what? And Kenny's like, hold on, what? So we walk over to Rob, and Kenny's like, yo, why are you kissing my girl? He's like, what? Who said that? And he's like, he turns around to point to Eddie, and Eddie's not there. He's not in the club, nowhere. So Rob's like, Kenny's like, Rob, he must have left. But the kid said he saw you kissing my fiance. He's like, bro, that's a lie. I'm going to go straighten this out. So we watch him. He walks out the front door of the club, and right when he walks out, boom, he gets dropped. Someone was waiting for him to come out. That kid, Eddie, after he had told Kenny that, he left the bar and went into his car in the parking lot and was waiting for us to leave. We didn't know then, but what we came to find out later was that Rob was in prison with Eddie, and they had like some beef. I guess they did some crimes back in the day. Maybe someone told. I don't really know like what their whole beef was about. Right. But it was beef. And she didn't kiss. Rob didn't kiss Candace.
Yeah. He's just trying to
stir up shit, and he definitely stirred it up. So Rob goes to leave. Boom, he gets dropped at the door. Me and Kenny look at each other. We're from Newport Richey. We're now in Spring Hill. We're on the County Line Road, which one side's Pasco, one side's Hernando. Mm-hmm. So we don't know anybody at this club. Like, we're outsiders kind of. And we're being looked at like we're outsiders. And Eddie has a lot of his friends at that place. So he was already telling them stuff, you know, like on the sly when we were there.
Yeah, so they're already aware. They're ready plotting. To go. They're ready to go.
Yeah, they're ready. So
did Rob get up, or was when you say he got hit?
No, he's knocked out.
He's out.
He's out, completely out. So me and Kenny look at each other and we're like, here we go. He's like, and Kenny looks at me. He's like, you better be fucking ready. And I'm like, bro, I'm ready. Whatever you want to do, because I'm 18. These people are 21, 24, 26. I'm hanging out with older people. Yeah. So he goes over to the wall where they have the pool sticks hanging on that board, that piece of board, and he grabs one off, he unscrews it, grabs another one off, unscrews it, puts 2 in each hand. He's like, grab your pool sticks, you're gonna need them. I'm 18 years old, so this is like, I'm like, damn, dude, what the hell we got ourselves into? So we go out the front door, and right when Kenny walks out, there's like 5 dudes. He blasts one of the dudes right in the face with a pool stick. I mean, I was like, damn, dude, like this is real. So he's now, after he hits the one kid, I'm behind him. These 5 dudes are in front. The one dude drops after he hits him. The other 4 are coming at him. Well, he takes off running in between the cars with these guys chasing him. Everybody starts pouring out of the club. The owner comes out that owns the club. He grabs me by the shirt because I'm messed up. So I'm like half in, half like with it and not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Drunk, I'm taking X. So I'm not with it. Like I'm like in and out. And so the owner comes behind me and grabs me. He's like, where's your car? Get in your car. Get the hell out of here. And I'm like, I don't have the keys. Rob has the keys. He's knocked out. The guy has me by my shirt. Kenny's running through the parking lot. Every like couple steps he takes, he turn around with the pool stick, bam, hit one of the dudes and then keep running again. And now the girls boyfriends, 2 dudes are laid out. Their girlfriends are now chasing him too because he just like split their boyfriends.
This is very Florida. This is very Roadhouse.
Yes, okay. It was that exact scene probably. So while we're in the parking lot, Rob has the keys. As all this is going on, he wakes back up. He's kind of out of it. And he comes over to where I am. I'm like kind of near the car, but I'm trying to see if he's going to come because he has the keys. I can't get in because it's locked. Mm-hmm. So the guy Miller's still behind me, holding me by my shirt, like trying to get me into the car. And I'm like, I can't get in. It's locked. So Rob comes stumbling over. I'm like, bro, we need to get out of here. I was like, look at what's going on. And Kenny's running. He's like, let's get the car open. Get the hell out of here as these dudes are chasing him. So I go to open the front passenger door. It's locked. So I go to the back door and it's open. So I get into the back seat of the car. Rob comes. He gets in the front. Candace comes the other door on the passenger side and sits next to me in the middle right here. Finally, Rob's in the car, barely with it, starts the car. We're like driving slow. I'm like, we can't leave Kenny. We got to wait for Kenny because he's still out there hitting people and shit. And I'm like, Kenny, get in the car, bro. We're going to get killed. Get in the car. So he jumps in and we pull off. We pull up. We go left on County Line Road, headed towards US 19 to go home. And we're like driving on County Line Road. Up there, there's no lights. It's not like lit up because it's not a populated area. So it's like on this like country road and you can't really see anything. And all of a sudden we're in the car and he's like messing with the radio, trying to find a song. And I'm like, bro, you need to go. I was like, Kenny just knocked out like 3 dudes. I mean, bad. They're not going to just let that shit slide.
Right.
So as I'm saying that to him, I'm looking behind me in the back seat out the back window because I'm trying to see if they're going to come after us. And sure enough, I see the headlights pull up onto the road and come right behind us. And I'm like, bro, they're coming. I was like, I see them pulling out right now. They're going to come after us. You need to go. Fuck the radio. So he doesn't listen. He's like, I don't know I think it's because we were all messed up and just like everything was. But at that point, I had sobered up because of all the shit that was going on. So I'm like somewhat thinking clearly. And as I'm yelling at him, all of a sudden, boom, we get rammed from the back. I like go up onto the front seat like that, almost flew over. And by the time I could get myself positioned back down into the back seat, I'm like looking to see where the car's gone because they hit us. When they hit us, they pulled up beside us and we're driving beside us. We're doing like 45. And all of a sudden I look over and the window rolls down and 2 guns come out the window. And I was like, oh shit, they're gonna kill us. So I dive under the floorboard, trying to climb up under the front seat of the car. We're in a Subaru, so it's not like I could do that, but I'm trying to get cover. And all of a sudden, pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, I could hear, bro, the bullets, ding, phew, ding, phew, into the car, through the car. I don't know what's going on. We're still rolling. The bullets stop. So I'm still like hesitating to get back up, but we're rolling. Candace is looking at me. I'm like, are you hit? Because we're both ducked down. She's like, I don't think so. And then we both just I'm like, well, I need to see where they're at. So I look and they had taken off. But now we're rolling in the car still. And I look up and Rob's sitting there no hands on the steering wheel, and his foot's still on the gas. So we're still driving now. No one's in the front seat. He's half dead. So I'm like, what are we gonna? And Kenny's like, move, and he pushes me and Candace over to the right. He jumps up and kicks the gear, the car gear thing into park, and all of a sudden, the car just stops. And I'm like, bro, we need to get out of here, get away from the car. He's like, I'm not leaving Rob. He's like, we need to get him out of the car. So I got out the back door. I'm army crawling on the fucking ground because I think they're gonna come back and kill us.
Right.
Because we're witnesses, and they don't know if they killed all of us, or I don't know what they're thinking. I'm thinking that they're going to want to end us. They can come back. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I go around to the other side, and Kenny's already has the front door open. Rob's been shot 8 times. Like, he got shot in his wrist, like 3 here, 4, I think, along his leg. 1 went through one leg. He was done, bro. So Kenny we don't know, though, at that time he's been hit 8 times. We just see like a couple gunshot wounds. Blood's everywhere. Right. The whole thing's saturated with blood. So he's like, help me get him out. I'm like, we shouldn't move him. He's like, help me get him out. And these are like older people. Like I said, I'm younger. So I'm like just trying to do whatever it is I need to do to help. And I felt bad too about it. But so we get him out of the car, and he's just like, his eyes are open, but you can tell like life is leaving him. And when Kenny's like, we're all crying. I'm like, bro, don't go. Don't die. We're going to go. God. And he's yelling at me, go run to the house across the street and see if they'll help us to call the police.
Right. This is all like pre-cell phones, right?
Yeah, like, it was what like year? 2000.
Okay.
2000,
yeah. So
there.
You're just young. You don't have cell phones, I think.
No.
Okay.
Or it may have been, but it was like the Nokia with the snake game.
Yeah,
like, No texting then or anything like that. So I get up, I go over to the house, I'm knocking on the door, I have blood all over me. They come to the window of their door, and they're like, they see me at 1:30 in the morning, blood on me, call the cops. They don't know what's going on. So I had to go to the house next to it and knock on their door because they wouldn't help me. And they answered the door, and I guess they called the police because they ended up showing up. So I run back across the road. Kenny's got Rob, and Rob looks up at Kenny. He's laying on the ground, and he's like, tell my mom I didn't go out like no bitch. And then it's just like the life just left him. And I'm just like, dude, and I'm fucked up. But like I said, I'm sobering up in and out of this, but this is like serious. So now I'm like, oh, bro, this is not normal, like getting in a fight type stuff. This is like, my friend's dead. Yeah. Like, what are we going to do? So about this time, all the cops start showing up. And they put me and Candace in the back of the car. We're like nodding out, like passing out from being drunk and on drugs. And it's late at this time, so I'm tired. They get Kenny. They put him in a separate car. They bring us all to a Hernando County substation, like a sheriff's office, where they put us in some holding cell in this building. And I didn't know then, but they had put us in there because they had tried to interview all 3 of us. But we were just so messed up. We were falling asleep during like the interview or the interrogation. So they put us all in a holding cell, I guess, until the morning to sober us up. And I didn't realize that. So we're in the holding cell, and I woke up. It's like, I don't know. It's like 5 in the morning. I'm starving. I'm in jail. I'm in this jail. I really don't know the whole, like, cause I don't remember everything. I remember bits and pieces about what happened. And I'm telling Kenny, I'm like, what are we doing in here? He's like, bro, I don't know. He's like, we've been in here for like 8 hours. And I have bud in my pocket, and I'm on probation at this time from some, it was like, I think it was misdemeanor probation. It was something stupid. So I'm like, dude, I got weed on me. And Candace is like, flush the weed, Josh, flush it. And I'm like, no, we're going to smoke when we leave here. She's like, you're fucking crazy. And at that point, I was just like hungry. I was pissed off. I knew I didn't do anything to be in this jail cell. And I was just like, man. So I turn around, I start kicking the cell door to get their attention. Like, they're not coming to talk to us or nothing. So I start like donkey kicking the door. Boom, boom. Finally they come. And I'm like, what are we doing in here? We didn't do anything. And they're like, you don't want to help catch the guy who just killed your friend? And I'm like, I don't know who killed my friend.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, you do. He's like, you just don't remember things. You need to sober up some more. And I'm like, dude, we're starving, man. I was like, we've been in here all night. And he's like, we got food coming. He's like, you guys need to sober up so we can, get the story.
Yeah.
So when I was sleeping in the holding cell, Kenny had came out and they were talking to him. He had sobered up first. He was like the least person out of the group that got messed up when we went out. So he was the most sober first.
Right.
So they talked to him and he knew because he had saw when
he knew the guy, who the guy was,
right,
too. He
Eddie.
Introduced him, so he knows that guy.
Right.
That guy, at the very least, can, well, I don't know, you don't know who shot the gun, but at this point, right? But he at least knows the other parties.
Right. And so I guess when they had brought him out, he was already putting it all together in his head. And he said that when the car pulled up next to him, he saw Eddie in the passenger seat with the gun. So,
okay.
So he came back in. They had taken him out. He comes back in. He's like, bro, we need to tell them who killed Rob. And I was like, I don't know who killed Rob, Kenny. I was like, all I saw was the guns. And I was like, I didn't see him like actually do it. And he's like, well, that's who did it. I'm telling you, that's who did it. He's like, you guys may be messed up. He's like, I was the one that was the most sober. He's like, and I saw what happened. He's like, you don't remember Eddie coming over to us and like trying to start that whole thing with Kiss and Candace. And I was like, and it was all kind of making sense in my head. I'm kind of putting it together. So I was like, you know, people can say whatever they want, bro, but like the only way to help my friend was to tell them who killed my friend. Like,
right.
And most people watching this are going to be like, well, that's a snitch. And I was, okay, so do you want me to leave the cop station, go get a gun and then kill him too? So then I can.
People are fucking jackasses.
Yeah. And I'm young at this time. So like, I just wanted to help my dude, his parents, they were like getting at us, telling us you need to like, you know, tell them. Cause I was still hesitant about saying anything. Mm-hmm. And seeing their faces, man, like their son just came home. He's now shot. And it was honestly like, it was some pussy ass shit what they did. Like he should have just fought Rob instead of trying to set us up and all the, like the whole thing that played out. So we're still at the substation. The detective lady went and got us all Subway. So they take us out of the cell. They bring us into like a break room, I think, for the cops. So we're sitting at this table and we're eating the subs. And there's like this bottle in the middle of the table. It's like an old like milk carton thing, like with the thing cut off, and it had a top and it had a sign wrapped around it. And it said, donation for Christmas for families whose officers have died in the line of duty. And it was so everybody in that substation, like people that have died in that substation, the families, they would put money in it so then they could, you know, help out for Christmas.
Yeah, they were donations.
Right, donations. So I'm like, so I like take the top off and I grab an envelope out and I open it up and there's like $125. And I'm like, bro, that whole thing is filled with money. And they're like, are you fucking crazy, dude? And I'm like still messed up and I wasn't the smartest. I'll admit that. So I'm taking the money, and I was like, "Bro, we can go to Busch Gardens when we leave here." I was like, "I still got the weed. We can smoke a blunt on the way there." They're just like, "Dude, you're crazy." And now, like looking back at that was so messed up, man.
Right?
Like I'm probably still paying for that today. You know what I mean? So they took the car, they impounded the Subaru because they had to run like each bullet hole in forensics. They run this laser through it to see where it was aimed. Like
like the trajectory, so they can determine that it came from that vehicle.
Yeah, like some CSI shit. And so when they did that, all the bullet holes were on the front part of on the front passenger door, aimed at Rob, so they could tell he was the target. Yeah. We were just, you know, in the car. And there was some bullet holes, like, because we were driving, that were towards the back door. So when that happened, they figured out it was Eddie because of Kenny and then me saying, and so they're looking for him now. Well, we're still at the substations. We're eating. We're back into it. They put us in an office, and that's when they were like, well, we know it's Eddie. We're trying to get him. But when he was in the car, he had a girlfriend and another couple that were in the car with him. And I guess they had got to them. They found out who, like, and they even confirmed what was going on. So he was sitting in the car the whole time after Rob got knocked out, waiting for us to leave. He was loading guns. Like, he was planning on killing Rob that night.
What the fuck was the beef?
I still don't know to this day, man. I still don't. I wish I knew.
I mean, it just kills me, these guys that, like, you went to prison, you had a disagreement. Like, what's important in prison, it is a joke out here, right?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And these guys, you know, somebody that you wouldn't even associate with, in prison, right? You might walk out and be like, hey, Jimmy, what's going on? And because I see people like that all the time where I was in prison, I never had a conversation. Now when I'm there, like, oh my God, bro, what's going on? I was in Coleman with you. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we never talked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You played handball all the time. Like you hung out with the fucking Woods or the whatever. And it's like, we never had any conversation. Now we're buddies. So... yeah, so it's amazing. I'm sure that the whole fucking thing is probably over. Like he didn't return a fucking magazine or something, just something so stupid.
Yeah, and just like I don't know, man. It was just
he disrespected me.
Right. It was probably something dumb. I don't know exactly what it was. And so they, from his friends, they find out where Eddie lives. They go to his house, and they arrest him. They find him in the attic hiding with some pills on him. I guess he was popping pills in the attic or whatever, waiting on the cops to come get him. So they bring him to the Hernando County Jail. He's in jail now. He gets on the phone. He calls one of his co-defendants that was out and said, the gun's here. You need to go get it and go throw it in the Gulf on the wherever. He said somewhere on the Gulf. I can't remember. Hernando Beach or something like that. And so they go get the gun. They go there, and right when they're going to put it in, the cops, they're listening to everything. They know what's going on. So they end up getting arrested. Well, they were all given lie detectors when they were arrested just to make sure that their stories, I guess, were the truth.
What you're saying is that this really is the guy, and you didn't have anything to do with it, right?
Right. So, yeah, because they were in the car, and they were probably pressuring them.
Yeah, everybody could be, blame Eddie, but really it was Jimmy.
Right.
But obviously it's not true.
So we left the police station. The detective drove us all three back to Kenny's house. We ended up dude, at that point, like, I didn't even grasp or take in that I was just in a car that got shot 8 times. I could have very well been shot myself. My friend died. Like, the gravity of it it hadn't hit me, I think. I was just too young to understand, like, the gravity of it. And so we just went on doing life. Well, this whole time, this guy's in jail, and he's fighting this. Like, he hired a badass lawyer. He's been in like a year and a half, and now we're getting subpoenas to go testify at his trial. So, like I said, I don't really remember a lot. So when I'm subpoenaed, I'm just like, well, what am I going to say on the stand? And like his parents and brother are telling me, like, you need to tell exactly what happened. And Kenny's been pushing on me, like, this was Eddie, bro. Like, you need to this is our boy. Like, you're not going to help. And Candace was doing the same thing. So I was so paranoid about going to court, so I get messed up.
Was it that you didn't want to testify?
I wasn't 100% sure that I saw Eddie. Like when I looked over,
you still saw that everybody else is clarifying it. Like you got 4 other people saying it was Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, I knew deep down it was. Yeah. I think I don't know. But
you definitely looked up and saw whoever was in the fucking driver's seat, fucking firing the guns. Yeah. Was it 1 gun or 2?
I think it was 2.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure I saw 2. That's foggy too.
Right.
I just say 2 because I'm pretty sure I saw 2. I mean, it could have been a trail. It could have been 1. But.
Yeah.
So I go in, and before I'm at the courthouse, they're like, we're all outside talking about like what we're going to say when we get called in. And so I had taken some X and was not with it. I was just like trying to get messed up so I didn't have to feel what was going on. And so they call me in, and I go up to the stand, and his lawyer just totally eats me alive. Like, he had me thinking my name wasn't even Josh, bro. Like, he was so good at twisting what I said, and I'm like half messed up too, so I'm not a very good witness on the stand. So while I'm testifying, he's asking me about like, so these girls were over there, what were you doing at this club? And I was like, we were just clocking hoes, man. That was all it is.
Oh my
and
God.
The judge like looks over at me, and he's like, dude, do you want to be held in contempt? And I'm like, for what? And he's like, you can't be talking like that in here. Right. He's asking you a question, answer the question. So I'm just like, okay, so I'm done. I get off the stand, I walk out, go through the double doors, and right when I go through the double doors, there's 2 bailiffs there waiting for me. They're like, you need to turn around and put your hands behind your back. And I'm like, for what? They're like, you have a warrant out of Pasco, and I'm in Hernando. So I was like, I didn't even know that I had this warrant. It was for not paying the rest of my probation. Like they put a warrant out for me for the court fines and all this stuff. So they put me in a squad car and bring me to the Hernando County Jail. Well, that's where Eddie's going too, because he was just in court. So now I'm in booking, bro. I'm coming in with my hands behind my back. There's all these cells like where you can see in them, and you walk down this hallway. And I'm walking by these cells, and we get to the cell I'm going in, and there's Eddie on the glass. He's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, I was like, "Y'all can't put me in here." I was like, "We're gonna kill each other." And so one of the guys that was working the counter and booking was like, "Oh no, you can't put them two together." So I was like, "Oh man," I thought I was gonna get my ass. This dude was big, man. I'm 18. Yeah. He's like 27. Been in jail for a year and a half doing push-ups, eating ramen. Like, he's big. So.
Right.
So they put me in another holding cell. There's a phone in the cell. Thank God they have them like that. So I called the girl I was with. I was like, "You need to bond me out now. I don't care if you're at work. Leave work, because I'm in a cell next to the dude that just killed my friend, and they're probably going to book me in, and there's no telling what's going to happen." So she posts the bond, and I get out. So I didn't end up – he ended up getting 15 years, bro, because when they gave – his co-defendants the lie detector test at the police station, they all passed. So when they were on the stand and his lawyer was, I guess, interrogating one of them, I don't know exactly what happened, but they said on the stand, "Well, if you don't believe me, then I took a lie detector test. I passed." So, and then right at that moment, his attorney was like, "Oh, we want to mistrial, right?" So I think that's what happened. And then during the process of going to the next trial, his attorney worked out a deal with the state.
Yeah.
Because the family didn't want to go through it again. So
it's getting expensive.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We can't keep doing these trials over and over again. Right.
Right. And the family was just so broke, man. Like,
right.
You know, like their son just died. And so he was charged with premeditated first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted murder on me, Kenny, and Candace, and then felon in possession of a fire, a bunch of other little like third degrees. So he pled out to 15 years, so he got 15 years. And you would think like going through all that would have like shocked me into like, dude, this is not like, you don't want to be hanging.
This isn't the life.
This is not the life, yeah. And it just wasn't, it just never hit me like that, man. Like I wish it did. So after that happened, I kind of like went off the deep end. I got into a car accident.
Well, wait a second. For whatever happened to that guy, did he get out? Because that was...
Yeah, he got out. I don't know.
You don't know?
I never heard anything from him again.
Oh, I thought maybe... I didn't know if you later heard from somebody that he had got killed or went back to prison again.
Yeah, I know. I like would look him up every now and again. And
just nothing.
He got out, and I didn't hear anything. And then I heard like 6 years ago he overdosed.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that's true. Yeah. I haven't looked him up, but yeah, I was worried about that because I'm still committing crime. So there's a chance that I'm going to go to prison one day too, and who knows? You know what I mean? So I was always like, well, I need to know where he's at, because if I end up, it's
not going to be good.
No, it's not. Before that happened, I had known this kid named Joe, and when we were in high school, neither one of us went to school, so we would be at his house, and his dad was there because his dad didn't work. We would sell bud during the day to make money. And as we're doing that, his dad, we're out in the garage one day, and we're breaking it up and bagging it and stuff, and his dad is like, "Man, there's no money in that." He's like, "Y'all be making a little bit, but you're not making real money." Because we thought we were like ballers, right?
This is his dad. Jesus.
I know, bro. It's sad. So I was like, "Well, how do we make the big money?" Right? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, "Do you have health insurance?" And I was like, "I have Medicaid." I was like, "Cause my mom, wasn't around. My dad died. So I had Medicaid." And he said, "Do you know he goes, "Do you know where Dr. Corbathina's office is?" And I had just so happens that was my primary care that my grandma had brought me to like 4 years ago for like asthma and antibiotics and stuff. So I was like, "Yeah, that's my doctor." He's like, "No way." And I'm like, "Yeah, I was like, "Why? What's wrong with him?" He's like, "You go there at this time." He's like, "You're going to go to the back door." He's like, "You're going to knock on the door. And when he comes, you're going to give him $500. He's going to bring you into a room, and he's going to give you 3 scripts of 100 pills of your choice." He goes, "These are the pills you ask for." So we get 100 pills of each. We get the scripts. We go to the pharmacy to fill them. So that's how we started making like real money, because then we would give him all the stuff. He would cut us the money to both of us, and then he would go do his thing. He was obviously making more though, because he was double charging us probably. So we had started doing that each month, going to see this doctor. And then he opened up another doctor's office in Hudson. So I could go to his doctor's office in Newport Richey on the 1st, and I could go to the one in Hudson on the 15th. So now I'm seeing him twice a month. People weren't taking Oxycontin then because nobody really knew about it, and because it was for like cancer patients, and we didn't know like this will get you messed up beyond belief. Like we just thought we had the good stuff already. So the one day we go, and his dad's like, you need to ask him for Oxycontin 80s. Now about this time, people are starting to hear about these. And so he had a buyer for him. So he's telling us to get them. So we go get the scripts, we go to the pharmacy, and while we're waiting for them to be filled, we're going to have a hotel party. So this kid calls us for like a QP, a bud. We end up robbing him. We take all his money. So now we want to have a hotel party in Clearwater.
I don't understand. You end up robbing. Tell what happened with the robbery.
This guy we used to sell to, he worked at Taco Bell in Tarpon, and we would just go through the drive-thru and give him like some bud. He would give us free tacos, and we would also sell them some. So this is just a regular day. While we're waiting we get a call, and he's like, "Hey, bro, I need a QP," and it was like 400, I think, at that time. So my friend that I'm with, he had a problem with X. He would take so many X pills and not remember, and just be like a savage, bro. He turned into like, he wanted to steal everything, rob everyone, and just do whatever he wanted. So I was like, bro, we don't even have a QP. And he's like, we're not giving him the QP. He's like, I'm going to rob him. And I was like, dude, he buys from us all the time. Like, what? And he's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, I'm robbing him. He's like, look at all the money we're going to make off these. He's like, we don't even need him anymore. So we meet this kid next to Walmart. I'm in my car. He gets out of the car. The kid's there. They're meeting. And all of a sudden, he just picks the kid up and slams him on the ground. He's like, give me your money right now. And the dude's like, what are you doing? And he takes the dude's money. I'm just like, gets back in the car. We drive back to the pharmacy. We pick up the stuff. When we got the stuff, he's taken X. So he's already messed up. And so he has the bottles. He's taken some out of the bottles now, of each bottle of the pills, before we give them to the dad to get rid of.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, dude, we need some for the party, da-da-da. He's like, I want to try these new Oxycontins out. And I at that point in my life, like, I was getting messed up, but I wasn't into like the hardcore, like heavy duty pills. You know what I mean? So I was like, dude, don't do that. I was like, we don't even know what those are. Like, we're fine taking the Vicodin. Why you gotta, it just seems stupid to me. So we go give the rest of the pills to his dad. There was this kid that lived across the street, Justin, that was also friends with us. So we had saw him in the neighborhood, and we're like, hey, you want to come to the hotel party? He's like, hell yeah. So we're driving down there, and Oxycontin 80s have a coating on them. They're time released.
Right.
So they slowly enter your system if you swallow them and take them correctly. Well, if you don't, people would suck on them and suck the coating off and dry them up, and then it would be a pill that would hit you instantly. And we didn't really.
But you don't know that,
right? So he doesn't know that the coating is like that. So him and Justin. He takes one, Justin takes one. I can't remember if it was one or two. They took one. And so this was like on the way there. Well, now we're at the party. Everybody's partying. We're drinking. And he's like, man, those things are weak. He's like, I don't know how they're getting that much money for them. They don't even do anything. Well, that's because they haven't hit him yet, but they don't know that.
All right.
So he takes two more. The other kid takes two more. So now like 2 hours have gone by from that point. And the cops got called on the hotel, so we had to get out of there. So they're messed up, man. At this point, it's starting, I think, to hit them. And I could barely get them in my car. Like, I drove both of them from Clearwater all the way to Holiday. They lived in the same neighborhood. Pull up to Joe's house. I, like, helped him get to the front doors. You know, he goes into his room. He lives with his parents. Same thing with Justin. So then I was relieved, bro, to just get them out of my car because I was babysitting them. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, they were like incapacitated from the pills hitting them. And I wasn't thinking anything of it, honestly. I just thought they'd sleep it off and everything would be all right. So
If you sleep hot at night, you know how disruptive that can be. Whether you're having trouble falling asleep, you're waking up sweating in the middle of the night, or all of the above, that's where Ghost Bed can help. As the makers of the coolest beds in the world, Ghost Bed is your go-to for cooling mattresses, cooling pillows, and cooling bedding. From their signature Ghost Ice fabric to patented technology that adjusts to your body's temperature, every Ghost Bed mattress is designed with cooling in mind. So whether you want a plusher mattress that cushions your shoulders and hips, or a firm option with exceptional support, your Ghost Bed will keep you cool and comfortable all night long. When you purchase a Ghost Bed mattress, your comfort is guaranteed. You can try out your mattress for 101 nights, risk-free, to make sure it's the right fit for you. Plus, they offer free shipping, and most items are shipped within 24 hours. If you're not sure which Ghost Bed is right for you, check out their mattress quiz. You'll answer a few questions and get a personalized recommendation. Just visit ghostbed.com/Cox and use code Cox at the checkout.
The next morning, I get up at like 11, and usually he's texting me the next morning like, bro, where you at? Come on over. I would go over there every morning. We like, bag up the stuff, get everything ready, and like we thought we were Pablo Escobar and shit. And I'm not hearing from him, and then it's like 12, 1 o'clock, 2 comes, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to drive over. He lived like 15 minutes. So I get in my car and I drive over, and right when I go to pull down his street on where he lives, I see all these cop cars and ambulances and everything, and I'm just like, damn, they must have got arrested or something. Like, they must have did something when I dropped him off. So I like pull up to the house. His mom's in the front yard crying. There's all these EMS, all these people. And I'm like, what is going on? I was like, where's Joe? And she's like, and she just like looks at me with this like look. And I'm like, what is going on? I think she had thought maybe I had something to do with like getting them the shit. She didn't know that her husband is the one telling us, you need to go to this doctor, say this, say that. He'll give you this, give you that. So she's like left out of the circle. Me, the dad, and Joe knew what was going on. So I looked at his dad and I'm like, what the is going on? And he's just like beside himself. And he was messed up too. He was later come to find out he was taking a lot of the shit that we were giving him. So his mom's crying. I find out he's dead. He died that night. So she went to wake him up, I guess, in the morning. He was blue. They called the EMS. So about that time, we're all there. And then you hear like screaming from another house. And it's the kid Justin's mom. He's dead.
How far the house is just across the street?
Yeah, right, yeah. So I'm like, and I'm standing there and I'm like in total shock, dude. Like it was a sad, sad day. And so he ended up, I guess all the pills finally caught up with the both of them. And
when they went to sleep, when they're passed out, and but they're still releasing, and eventually they just stop breathing.
Right. And that's what happened. And after that day, like I kind of still talked to his mom to try to like, be there for her and stuff. But it was just too hard. And then I knew the whole time that the dad, like he knew what the hell was going on. So and I never got to talk to him about like, I just kind of
separated yourself.
Yeah, separate.
Did the cops never showed up to your house?
Never
to say
got
what
questioned
happened?
or anything. No. They just ruled it as an overdose. I know.
2 kids. I mean, they also knew, but they knew they were together. Right. I'm shocked that they didn't say, well, who else was
I don't even know
circle?
if they knew that we were all 3 together that night, because we kind of just were doing our own thing and like out, and it was late. And when I brought them home, they weren't awake. So I don't think they knew. I knew though, because we were all together.
Right.
So I was like, I felt guilty. Like why didn't I? But I didn't know, man. Like, you don't know when that's going to happen. So
survivor's guilt.
Yeah. And I didn't realize how powerful at that time these pills were. It was a little pill. I didn't think 2 could just end somebody, you know?
Right.
So you would think at that point, I would be like, hey man, this is crazy. This
could go bad.
Yeah. This is just not worth it. And I end up turning up more. So then I found out that this is right when the pill epidemic was just starting to hit. And this was before even pain management was around. Like, this is when you had to just know a doctor that you were in there with. And then all these pain clinics start popping up. And now people calling my phone asking for bud or for blow. They don't want that anymore because everybody's now taking these pills. So I'm like, well, I could get 240 pills. They go for $15 a piece. So that's pretty good money. And then you get other pills in the visit that are also worth money, Xanax, Oxycodone, like a bunch of somas. So I start going to a pain management. And the reason I started to actually go into the pain management was I was living in Ocala at this point, and I was coming back from Orlando at a car show, and I had went through an intersection and a van T-boned me, ejected me from the car. I broke my sternum. I landed in a ditch with high grass, bro. I'm laying there with my sternum broke, can't breathe. I'm in this grass. I can't even see where I'm at. These people are looking for me because they can't see me either. I'm trying to yell, but my sternum's broke. So every time I go to talk, it hurts. Finally, somebody walked down and found me. They bring me to the ambulance, or put me in the ambulance. I go to the hospital. And that's when I really was able to start getting like a lot of pills because
now you have,
I had serious injuries.
Right.
I had,
Did you need the pills?
At that first 2 months
initially?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
but it doesn't matter once they've been prescribing them, you can just keep getting them. Right. And your MRI is probably permanently fucked up.
Right. To this day, like herniated discs and stuff like that.
Well, and I wrote a book about these kids that had that were doctor shopping, and one of the things that they told, well, same thing with Derek. So same thing that I've actually wrote another one too about this guy Derek Nolan, and the one thing all of them said was the regular person who's never been had a problem in their life, you can go get an MRI. Something's wrong with his fucking spine. And nobody has a perfect spine.
Right. And that's exactly what happened. I think I know who you're talking about too. The book. The book.
Yeah, that was I wrote Generation Oxy, and then I wrote a story called Pain.
Yeah, Doug and them.
Yeah, Doug. And all of those guys were like, there doesn't have to be anything wrong with you at all. You just go and say, "Oh, I'm hurt." You can find out where you have an issue with your spine, and then just determine, and then just tell the corresponding, I have a pain right here, and my hands are always numb, and they know it comes from there, and he does have an issue right here. It's not bad, but it's obviously causing him problems. Give him some pills.
Right. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would honestly walk, like people I was hanging out with at that time, I would say, have you ever been in a car accident? Oh yeah, I got rear-ended back in 2 years ago. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna take you to get an MRI. Because if you've been rear-ended at 20 miles an hour, you probably have a nerve pinch, a slip disc, a herniated,
even if it's not affecting you, it's still there.
It shows up. And that's enough for them to say, oh, well, now we can write them all these pills. So that's what I did. I needed the pills at first for the first 2 months because I was messed up. I went through therapy and did all that. And by the time I didn't need them, I needed them because at that point, if I didn't take them, I would get sick.
Right. You're addicted by that point.
I'm addicted. Yeah. And when you're addicted, you think going to one doctor and getting 240 oxys, 120 X, 120 somas, that would be good for the whole month and you'd be good. And even if you were addicted, right? Mm-hmm. But I would take those in a week.
Will you build up a tolerance?
Yeah, a huge tolerance, man. At first, I didn't even like pain pills because I would get sick and nauseous and throw up. And then after you get past that point is when they put their grips on you from the pills, and you just need them every day to feel normal, even if you're not getting messed up. And so that's what happened with me. I would go to the pain management. I'd get all these pills. I'd sell half, do half, and I'd be gone in a week. So then I'm like, well, I need the pills, but I also need the money. So what? And then being in the game, going to these doctors' offices, you meet other people that are in there that are like, hey man, what do you get? And you're in the office, and by the time you get done with your visit in the office, all the stuff you're getting sold, that you go to the pharmacy, the guy follows you and he buys them all. So it's that easy at that point to find somebody to get rid of them to, or to just get other connections. And that's how you meet other doctors, because there's people that would be in one office doctor shopping. Mm-hmm. So when you do a deal like that, you meet them and they're like, hey man, you know about the doctor on Main Street? And I'm like, no, who's that? They're like, oh, Dr. So-and-so, man. You just go in, he'll give you this, that, and that. All you got to do is show him your MRI.
This is before they had the registry, right?
Before they had the database, yeah. This was 2004, 5, 6, 7, during that period. And so I was always scared to go to multiple doctors, but eventually when you're on this stuff, you just end up doing whatever you need to do. So I was going to like 5 different doctors in 1 month. The girl I was dating at that time was going to 5 doctors. And now we're also bringing people to the doctors. So it was like, for a month, I would say probably 10 days out of the month, I was sitting in a doctor's office, and it would be with someone I don't even know. Like, it could be like, hey, my friend Rob knows this guy Tim, and his girl just got hit by a truck like a year ago. She's got a messed up MRI. Can you help her out? And then, you know, they would call me. First time ever meeting them, I'd go pick them up at 8 a.m. We drive to Tampa, be in the office at 10, get the stuff by 1, and do whatever we had to do. And that's how it started.
Don't know a thing about them.
Yeah.
Other than they got a fucked up MRI.
That's it. Yeah. Didn't know their last name, nothing.
And what are you doing with them? You're paying them for the pills. Like,
right.
they don't need the pills anymore. You're giving them $1,000 and you're taking the pills and selling them for $3,500.
Right. Or like what? Yeah. So if I like met you and you had a messed up MRI, you obviously are contacting me because you're addicted and you do these things on the regular and you're tired of paying for them. So now I can take you to a doctor. If he gives you 240, I'm getting 120. So
I get to keep
half of each thing, and then I give them half. So eventually it just got to the point though where like you have like 10 people calling you all month asking you, hey, can you take me to the doctors? The visit's $300. It's this much to get them out. And so I would pay for their visit too, because these doctors are not accepting insurance. This is straight cash. So you're $300.
Why is that?
Because I think it's because then they don't have to report it.
Okay.
To the like medical board, or I really don't know.
I don't know. I was kind of assumed maybe it's because like they don't want to take checks because the checks are bouncing, and they don't want to take credit cards because maybe these people are disputing the charges. Like I
still don't know.
But everybody I've ever talked to, they're always like, "Oh, it's cash only." And I've never really asked like why. I think I know why, but maybe I don't.
Yeah, so I did the math one day. They would book like 6 patients in an hour window. So from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., they're seeing 8 patients within each hour. And I forget how much, 8 times, like, I don't know. But it came out to...
You mean they're seeing 6 patients an hour?
6 patients an hour.
6 patients, and how many hours a day?
There was like 7, 8 hours a day.
Okay. 6 times, so 48? 48 fucking... So 48, and they're making...
And they're paying $100 for the visit.
Okay.
To get in. So that's $600 they're making off that, plus whatever they write incentives. I don't really know how it works in the office.
Well, if they're seeing 48 patients a day and they're getting $100, that's $4,800. Plus, I guess if they're selling the pills out of the office, but
I'm pretty sure they were, yeah.
Yeah. And the first time you go to see them, they get more. They get like $250 or something, or $180. They get even more during the initial visit.
Right.
And it's reoccurring. 48, I don't know what 48 times 5 is what? That's $24,000 a week, 4.3 weeks in a month. So it's over $100,000 a month they're making.
Right.
On just
seeing someone.
Yeah.
And writing scripts.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and you got to pay a $300 initial visit. After that, it's $100. So it just got to the point where that's all I did. Like, I literally thought in my head, Matt, like, I'm going to retire off this. Like, I'm
going to do this the rest of my life. This is so easy.
It's so easy.
Well, how much money are you making a month just doing this?
I mean, there was 1 month I made like $45,000. But you don't see it at all at once.
It's just blowing.
Like when I take you, I'm making say $5,000 off all your stuff, but then I'm reinvesting that into the next person. I'm buying their lunch when we're at the doctor's office. Sometimes I would even buy for the hotel room to put them all in it, so I wouldn't have to track them down the next days when their appointment was.
Because they're wandering around.
Well, because they're sick or they ran out of pills, so now they could be going to somebody else that goes to the doctor like me, and he could cuff them, and then now I don't have them. So I would kind of like always keep tabs on it, like where they were, how we were going to do it, making sure they, held them accountable. And so, yeah, I mean, you don't really see it all at once, but yeah, it was guaranteed between me and my girl $10,000 a week if we took all those people and we both went.
Right.
And at that time back then, that's a lot of money. Even now, that's a lot.
That's a lot of. I wouldn't mind. Fucking, that's a chunk of fucking money.
$10,000
a week.
I know.
Fuck. Well, how long does this go on? I mean,
this goes on until, so I end up, this was like 2000, it started in like 2003, 4, 5. And then I'm at the doctor's one day And me and the girl that I'm with, the other one that's going to the doctors, we moved from Ocala to Newport Richey because we didn't want to make the drive. We were driving so far from Ocala to Tampa, and everybody I knew was in like Pasco area. So we get a condo in this place, and the day we're moving in, I have to go to the doctor's office. So it's my visit. So I go to the visit, and now I'm getting rid of all the stuff when I get them. My friend's coming over to meet me at the new place that we're at. So I go to the doctor's, I get home, and the girl I was dating, like, she was kind of flaky, man. Like, it was just like, it was more of like a drug relationship than it was like an actual relationship. And because she was all over the place, I had to like babysit her too. And so we moved into this place. We don't have the washer and dryer. None of our furniture's in this place yet. And she was, when I get back, she's with this girl that I guess she had met that lived also in the same neighborhood as us. And I would get mad because I'm like, bro, we don't know her. And I have somebody coming over here right now to commit like 30 felonies.
Right.
And I was like, she can't be here. So she's like, oh, we're going to leave. I'm going to go do laundry at the laundromat. I'm going to get something to eat. And I'm like, all right, thank God. So they leave. So my friend comes over. I sell him the stuff. They come back. I'm in the living room now. No one's there. She walks in. And right when she walks in, she just has like this weird like look on her face. And I'm like, what's up? She's like, nothing. I was like, what's up? I was like, I see that look. I was like, something's not right. She's like, no, nothing. And then all of a sudden on the door. So I'm like, I'm thinking it's one of my friends just stopping by or something. So I open the door and it's a cop. And he's like, have you seen Kim? And does she live here? And I'm like, and I look, she's standing there. He can see her behind me. You know what I mean? In the doorway. And he's like, are you Kim? You need to come with me real quick. And calls her outside. They handcuff her. Well, when they left to go do the laundry and get something to eat, she rear-ended someone at a red light. And I didn't know, but she knew she didn't have a license. So she pulls off and takes off down a side road. Someone grabs the plate. I guess followed her. I don't know how they found out where she lived. So they arrest her for leaving the scene of an accident. When she's getting arrested, the girl that's with her is also there. So I'm like, hey, you need to go home. Like, I got to figure out how to get her out and like what's going on. So everyone leaves. I'm there by myself. I call the bondsman. He's like, oh, it's a first degree misdemeanor or something that she'll get ROR'd because she doesn't have a record. And I was like, okay. I was like, so should I bond her? And he's like, well, by the time she gets ROR'd, it's going to be the same amount of time as it would if you bonded her. You might as well just let her ride it out until she gets ROR'd. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, she should be getting out like at this time the next day. So this was the day before. So I had some X and some other stuff. So I popped some stuff and I'm like, I'm just going to go to sleep and then set my alarm. And when I wake up, I'll just go to the jail and whenever I'll wait there until she gets out. And so that's what I did. And then the next morning I wake up, I'm like half asleep. Get up, walk out of the bedroom, going into the kitchen. I like just happened to glance over when I was going into the kitchen and there's the girl she was with is on my couch. And I'm like, what the hell? So I go over to her as she's on the couch. And when I'm walking closer, I had pill bottles on the coffee table that were tipped over, pills. There was pills on the carpet, like between the couch and the coffee table. And she's there snoring. And I'm just like, so in my head, I'm like, this girl just came back in my house and I'm sleeping and tried to rob me or something is what first came to my head. So I like went over to her and I nudged her on her shoulder. And right when I did that, she starts flopping like a fish, foam coming out of her mouth, like wailing her arms like this on the couch. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I run over, I don't know what to do. I run over to the refrigerator. I grab bottled waters. I'm dumping it on her thinking maybe that'll get her. I didn't know. I was young at this time. I didn't know anything about like convulsions and overdoses. I knew my friend did, but I wasn't there. I didn't see any of that. You know what I mean? So I was in shock. I don't want to call the police because I'm doing all this illegal stuff. I don't even know this girl's name.
Right.
And so I'm like, what am I going to do? It's going by fast though. And so a couple of minutes must have passed and all of a sudden I hear another knock at my door. So I'm like, I don't want to answer it, but I have to. So I open the door and it's the girl's grandmother saying, have you seen my granddaughter? She didn't come home last night.
She fishing out on my couch right
I'm
now.
like,
She's
is this
fucking
her?
flopping around. Yeah.
I was like, is this her? And she's like, oh my God, call 911. And still at that point, I was like, I don't want to have the cops here because I'm doing all this illegal stuff, but I'm not a piece of shit either. And I don't want something to happen to her. I want her to live. And so I pick up my phone. I'm like 511. I'm like 911's not answering. What do I do? She's like, what? 911's not answering. Give me the phone. So I hand her the phone. She calls 911. My granddaughter's convulsing. You need it. So I forget how long it was. I knew then. I was like, oh my God. I got all these pills all over the coffee table, multiple pill bottles, other people's pill bottles.
Oh no, those
2
have to
safes in the closet with stuff in them. And I was just freaking out. So I'm popping more because I think in my head I'm going to go to jail. So I might as well.
Why don't you just hide the fucking bottles?
I was
the
trying
other
to
people's stuff, like grab their
I
stuff.
did that. But then I'm trying to pick up all the pills off of the ground and put them back in the right pill container. Bro, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just all over the place. And so they show up, and right when they show up, it was immediately like, you sold her the stuff. You're the reason why this happened. Because they're looking at my record at this point. They know all about me from this town that we live in. Like Newport Richie's pretty corrupt and everybody knows everybody. And 2 weeks prior to that, I got arrested for a DUI because I was on 19 at 2 o'clock in the morning and fell asleep at the red light making a left turn with my foot on the brake at 1 o'clock in the morning. And the cop had to bust my driver's window to wake me up because I wouldn't wake up to them hitting it. So they already know who I am, right? So when they get there, like they're immediately like trying to make it like I sold this girl something or I have something to do with this. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know who this girl is. I have to go pick up my fiance from jail. She just got arrested. I was like, I don't know who this is. I was like, she broke into my house. I didn't invite her over. And as this is going on, more cops are coming. The ambulance, they take her, they put her in the ambulance. A car pulls up. My girlfriend gets out of the car. She got a ride home with somebody that got released with her from jail at the same time. And she comes up to me and she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, you tell me what the fuck's going on. I'm like, who is this? I was like, she came back after you left. And now they're they're searching all through our house, doing all types of stuff. And I'm freaking out. And I was like,
and they're going to find your stash.
Right.
Your girlfriend's.
Right.
Your stash of pills.
So she's like, I don't know. She's like, I just met her. She's like, she seemed cool. I was like, I told you not to hang out with anyone that you don't know. Look this is what happens. So I'm mad. And as this is going on, we're arguing. And I'm like, do you have any more pills? I'm going to jail. I want pills. Give me some. And so she's giving me some. So now I'm taking more. The cop comes over and he's like, well, she just died. Looks like you're really fucked. I'm like, what? And at that point, I'm just like, so I think this girl's dead now, right? And they're now telling me I'm going to jail for attempted manslaughter or trafficking of each pill they found. They have them all, each pill in baggies. So I'm like, dude, I don't even know who this is. This is crazy. They take me to the police station before they take me to jail. The cop comes into the room. I'm sitting in the room handcuffed. He handcuffs me, and he puts all the pill bottles on the table in front of us. And he's like, so you're going to tell me what's going on? And I was like, well, I'm prescribed that from Dr. Ramos, also Dr. Ramos. And I was like, I don't know who that is. I was like, I don't even know why that would be in here. I was like, because I was in an accident and I go to pain management. These are all my pills. Like, this is what I'm prescribed. And at that time, that's how many they would prescribe. So it's legit.
Right.
And he's like, and as the pills are still in there. So when I'm like looking at the pill bottles, I was like, I need to take these because they're prescribed to me. So he's letting me take more of the pills and I'm getting more messed up. So I wasn't much of a, we didn't really talk past that. He was just like, dude, you're so messed up. He's like, I'm not even dealing with this. He's like, you're going to jail. So we get in the car, we go to the jail, get out of the jail. There's news reporters at the jail trying to interview me. I get into the pod. I guess the St. Pete Times or some newspaper article gave me a piece of paper to the cop to give to me to see if I would sign the release for them to interview me in the jail on TV. And I was just like, nah, I'm good. So I call my grandma And I'm like, what the hell is going on? She doesn't know what's going on. She's like, I don't know. I contacted a lawyer. He's talking to one of the investigators. The girl's on life support in the hospital. And I'm like, I thought she was dead. He's like, no. She's like, no, we're waiting to see what's going to happen. She's on life support. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm in jail. This girl's on life support. The attorney's telling my grandma, like, we don't know what they're exactly going to charge him with yet because of her being on life support. So it was kind of like, we'll just stand by until we figure out, what's going to happen with her.
Right.
So I'm freaking out, man. I'm sick from not having the pills. I'm delirious. It's just a rough time. So she ends up pulling out. So
pulling through?
Yeah, pulling through. Yeah, she didn't pull out. She ends up pulling through and lives. And when she got released from the hospital, now all the investigators are trying to get at her because they're like, what happened? What is going on? Like, who is this guy? What did he do? And she's like, he didn't do anything. She's like, I went there because I couldn't get into my house because the doors were locked and no one would wake up. And I just went into his because the door was unlocked. So then they're like, oh, so you burglarized his house. That's what you're telling us. And they're basically telling her that if she doesn't testify against me, they're going to charge her with the burglary. So she just, I guess, got scared and her family was done. And she ends up moving away, doesn't respond to any of my attorneys, like for depots, doesn't respond to any of the states. They don't even have the victim now.
So they did charge you with what? Providing or what? Selling them to her?
Yeah, they charged me with sales and delivery. They charged me sale and delivery of a controlled substance, which they then dropped down to delivery. Then they changed it to sale. They changed it like 3 different times. I ended up with a 3rd-degree felony, and she's not showing up. And my grandma's saying we need to go to trial.
Yeah, she's not going to show up.
And so, yeah, one phone call, she'd be like, you need to take this trial. I was like, she's trying to figure out how to pay the attorney for the money because of how much it's going to cost. Mm-hmm. And then the attorney's telling her, well, if she shows up on trial day and says anything that we're not counting on, you're looking at so and so many years. Mm-hmm. And this is my first time like really being in trouble. And I'm like, you hear 6 years in prison when you're like 20.
Yeah.
And you're like, you think your life's going to be over. So I'm like, I'm not going to prison. Like, I don't deserve to go to prison. I probably did, but
not for that.
I didn't want to go to prison for
There's
like,
lots of reasons, but this isn't one of them.
Right. I didn't even know who she was. So I'm in jail. It's been like 16, 18 months. I bonded out one time. I got my bond revoked because I got caught selling again by the person who bonded me out. So they pulled my bond. So I go back to jail. And at this point, I'm talking to my grandma one day. The attorney came to see me. He's like, we can get you 36 months probation with like 2 house arrests, or it was some weird deal like that. So in my head, I'm like, yes, taking it. I can do it. I'll complete probation and do this. And my grandma's telling me, no, she just paid this attorney and she's trying to talk me into taking it to trial because she's seen all the evidence and everything with the discovery. And she's like, they don't have anything. You didn't do anything. Why would you plea out to something you didn't do?
Right.
And a lot of people would say that haven't been put in that situation. But I go to court that day. And I can either go home on probation or I can get another continuance after like 14, 15 months of sitting in county jail and not know, when we're going to go to trial because they can't even get her to come in to do a depo.
Right.
So I signed the probation. And my grandma was in the courtroom, man. She was so fucking mad, bro. She didn't even want to pick me up from jail that day. She was so mad because she gave him like 18 grand and he was supposed to fight the case and get me out of it. And then I go in and plea out because I want to get out of jail. Mm-hmm. Big mistake. So
what, you didn't,
I should have never pled out to it. I've been like, that's now I'm a convicted felon. I'm on felony probation. I think they withheld adjudication if I completed their probation, but with my past charges, I can't remember if that was in play or not at that point. I'm pretty sure it was because my past charges were as a 12-year-old. So if they did like the only time those would show up, my attorney said was like military, government jobs. But there was something like if I would just go for a regular job, it wasn't going to show up. So that's what my grandma wanted me to really take it to trial. She's like, you don't have an actual felony on your record. Do you understand if you become a felon, life is going to be very hard? And I didn't understand it then. And I wish I would have known what I know now then. I would have never done it. So I take the probation. I do good for a little while. And honestly, man, like I started going back to the doctor, got back into it all again. And just.
How old are you at that point?
Like 20, 21. So
all of this has happened in such a short period of time.
I know. And so I get out and I do good for a little while, actually, like work a regular job. And then in my head, though, I was like, I'm working 40 hours a week to make $500 if I'm lucky because I don't have a degree. I'm young. I'm like, that's $2,000 a month. And in my head, when you go to having $10,000 the first week or second week of a month that you can do whatever you want with, to now having to work 40 hours, I mean, I would rationalize it in my head that this time I'll do it better and I won't get caught and I won't get addicted, or I won't take this one. I'll just do this and not deal with them. And I justified it any way I could. And the next thing I know, I'm taking, 50 pills a day, can't even hold a conversation, burning holes in my, shorts and all types of shit. So I end up violating I had 2 months left on the probation. I schemed through it all somehow. I had 2 months left, and I get a call one day to go meet this kid to sell him something. And I get in the car with my girl. She has a license, bro, and I don't. And I insisted on driving this day because I was a little messed up, was feeling myself, thought I could just go do what I've been doing the past couple months. Sell to do the stuff. I leave. I'm doing 55 on Main Street. All of a sudden, a white Charger gets behind me. I'm like, fuck. So then I'm like, I was like, give me the pills. So I was like, let me tell you, I'm going to jail. So I grab the pills and take them. Then I bust a right. I bust another right. I park the car. I get out and I start walking down the street. The cop pulls up next to me in his car. He's like, we really going to do this? I was like, what do you mean? I'm going for a walk. He's like, oh, you weren't just driving the Honda Accord that just parked over there with the tail lights on with the front door open? I was like, really? Where's that? He's like, dude, turn around. So then he takes my ID. I didn't tell him I was on probation. I'm on probation, though, so I violate probation. So now I'm in jail, and I violate the probation. I go to court. That attorney's telling me I'm going to get house arrest. That didn't happen. I got 24 months, I think it was, DOC. So the girl I'm with, she's now crying in the courtroom. She thought I was going home that day. I'm now going to prison. So I'm in prison. I go to CFRC, which is the reception center in Orlando, Florida. They make me a permanent in the East unit, and I'm working outside grounds. We're mowing the grass in Disney on Public Works. And the girl I'm seeing she's coming to see me every weekend because it's in Orlando and it's only a 2-hour drive to come see me. So I'm out at Public Works one day, and this dude on my crew that rode the zero turns with me, he's like, hey, you're from Pasco, right? I'm like, yeah. Well, I was like, where are you from? He's like, oh, I'm from Pinellas, Clearwater. I was like, oh, okay. I know that area. And we just started talking, and his girl comes up and sees him every weekend. And I'm noticing that on like Monday, Tuesday, when they go to the rear gate to go to work, like at work, he would be in the van, like nodding. And I'm just like, and so one day at lunch, we're all sitting having lunch. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, bro? I was like, I need to make some money. So whatever you got going on, because he always had tons of money in the dorm. He did whatever he wanted in prison. So he's like, bro, my girl brings stuff up through Vizzo. And I'm like, what? I was like, is that easy? He's like, yeah. He's like, when we get back to the dorm, he's like, give me your number. I'll have my girl call your girl and give her the 411 on how to do all of it. And you can start doing your own thing. And I was like, okay, bet. So that's what they did. And the next time she comes in to Vizzo, I had some punk on the compound sew some like where the belt, the old DOC pants came with a belt. And the belt went inside the pants.
Everybody needs a good pair of jeans. What I like about the Perfect Jean is that the moment you put them on, they feel like sweatpants. They don't ever pinch or bind up. As a matter of fact, they're super stretchy. There's never any point where you feel like they're binding up on you or they're tight or they pinch you or anything like that. They're comfortable in pretty much any position that you sit in. They're really great. They're comfortable and they look great. And the best part is our listeners get 15% off their first order plus free shipping at theperfectjeans.nyc or Google The Perfect Jeans and use promo code COX15 for 15% off. Normally, a good pair of jeans costs anywhere between $150 to $200, but The Perfect Jeans are reasonably priced at $79.99. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc and use promo code COX15 for 15% off. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code COX15. Please support our channel and tell them we sent you. Your khakis, get The Perfect Jeans.
So there was like this little thing you could sew inside there that where you could put the pills in it, so you didn't have to, stick them up your butt in Vizzo, because I didn't want to do that. I'm not doing that. So she comes to Vizzo. The first time she brought like 5, and we're out at the picnic table. We buy something to eat. I open the shebangs. I take a couple bites. I'm like, here, babe, try those shebangs. They're awesome. Right. And she looks in, and when she goes to grab one, she drops the pills in it. And she flips the bag over, comes back. I grab the pills out. I put them in my waistband. And then I was so nervous about doing the waistband thing that I was like, hey, sir, I need to use the bathroom. He's like, all right. I had him there. So he pats me down. I go in the bathroom, and I ended up taking them out of the waistband thing, putting some soap on my finger and putting them up. They were in a cellophane.
Right.
Because I was so scared about introduction to the contraband, them finding them on me. And this is crazy. So now I have to go back into the dorm and get these out. So, and right when I go back into the dorm, counts at 4:00. The Vizzo ends at like 3:30. You got to wait for them to pat you down, strip you down. Go walk back to the dorm. I get in, and they're calling recall, meaning like in 10 minutes, a cop's going to come in and count everyone's count time. So I'm like, I was like, I can't go sit on my bunk for an hour and a half. I never have done this. I don't know if they're going to come out or what the hell. I need to get them out. So I go to the last stall in where the bathroom is. There's like 6 toilets. And the one at the end is where everyone, did their thing, put the sheet up. So no one really went in that. So I go to the next one. I sit down. I'm on the toilet. And the cop, when he comes out to do count, they come out of the officer station. He has to turn right to clear the bathroom to make sure there's no one in the bathroom. And then at the end, past me over here is a mop closet where cleanup crew and housemen, they keep all the stuff for the dorm to clean up. So he has to go in there, open the door, make sure no one's in it. Turns back around, and then he would count the dorm. So I'm on the toilet trying to get these things out, and I don't hear the freaking door open from the laundry room. So he comes out, he walks by me, and he looks, bro, right at me when I'm like this, trying to get him out. And I don't know if he didn't know what was going on or he didn't say anything. So I finally get him out. Dude, I had to get the shit off, everything, bro. It was so sick. So I go back to my bunk. Now I have these pills on me. So then I start talking to people in the dorm out at rec, and then I start selling them. So now this is going on for like, 10, 12 months. She's bringing them in. I only had a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. And by the time we got it to where like all that was going on, I was almost getting ready to come home. I'm in prison, and I'm calling her every day and I don't know, she's doctor shopping still at this point. I thought she had like stopped and wasn't doing that. So every time I call her, though, she would be like, I'll call you back. I'm at the doctor's. I call back like a couple of days. I'll call you back. I'm at the doctor. I'm like, so finally I find out that she's doctor shopping. So she ends up getting arrested when I'm in prison. She goes to jail for I forget. She was messed up and got pulled over. So she got out of jail. I get out of prison. And when I was in prison that time, I didn't tell my family I went to prison. I just wasn't talking to them. And they didn't know that I got arrested because I didn't call home, because I called my girl and had her take care of everything. And I just wasn't really close to my family at that point. You know what I mean? So they found out, though, that I was in prison when I was in there and told her for me to call them. So I call them, and they don't want me to go back to my house with her. They want me to come home and live there and get my life together. And I should have done that, but I didn't. And so my grandfather picks me up with her, and then it was just nonstop, bro. Like from the first time I got out of prison back to doing the same shit. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to do it different. I'm not going to sell this. I'm going to do it this. Like I would justify it again. And that's really when I got really bad, like on the pills, to where I was taking like probably 50 to 70 pills a day. And I'm talking,
how are you making the money to pay for that?
Well,
just
I'm
more
taking,
doctor shopping.
yeah, more doctor shopping. A lot of the times I would run out at that point during the month, you know what I mean? And then I'd have to buy some from the money I made from selling them. It was just like a revolving door, basically, of pills. And it just got so bad from me doing them. Like I didn't even know if I was ever going to be able to live my life to not do them, because they really like put a grip on you. And that went on for probably like 6 years, man. I mean, holidays used to pass and I didn't even know it was Christmas. Like I didn't even pay attention to what was going on like in real life. I was so in this like dark hole of addiction, man, that it was a dark place. And so,
did you ever end up going to rehabs or anything like that? Or
no, not at this point. No.
Did you get arrested? Were there any
multiple arrests.
Okay.
Yeah, multiple arrests for dumb stuff. And then when it came to a head, I was on bond for a grand theft and a possession charge, and I was out on bond, and I got caught again with 3 new sales and possession charges. And when I got booked into jail on bond, they take your bond. So now I can't get out of jail. So I know that I'm going to go back to prison. I've already been to prison. I caught new felonies that carry points. So thank God my grandma got me a lawyer once again. And so I ended up going to prison again. And that's when like I really went to a real compound. Like it wasn't a camp, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I went to Gulf Correctional in Weehawken, Florida. And when you pull up and get off the bus there, they go, "Welcome to Weehawken, Florida, and we gon' hit you." And I'm like, and they got no teeth. There's 6 of them.
This is what, the COs?
Yeah, they're all lined up. 6 COs, no teeth, inbred, you know, talking crazy. We're going to beat your ass when you get in here, da, da, da. And I'm just like, oh my God, where the hell did I end up? And the prison's like, it's old prison. Looks like the Flintstones built it. Like the rec yards, all concrete tables, concrete benches. It was an eye-opening experience. So I go to orientation. I go to my main dorm. I get put in the dorm. I'm there for about 3 weeks. And I'm now at this place, I'm seeing booty bandits, gang members, corruption, the staff killing inmates, beating them to death in confinement with not turning cameras on to when they're extracting them, all types of dirty games. So I call home to get my winter package. And they have to know which prison I'm at. So I tell my grandma I'm at Gulf Correctional, and I forget what county it's in. And so she's on the website ordering the stuff for the package. And I guess when we got off the phone, she went and looked up Gulf Correctional, and there was just like a huge gang riot, multiple cop on inmate deaths. And she's like, the next time I call home, she's like, "Are you going to be all right?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "That place you're at is crazy." She's like, "Did you know it's 70% lifers?" And I'm like,
fucking grandma's all fucking into it.
And I'm like, damn. So it was at that point that really like, man, like this, I could not go home. And then about a week later, I'm in the dorm and they bring this dude in there was an annex and a main unit for the prisons. And he was at the main unit. I'm in the annex. The cops are escorting him to the dorm I'm in. I'm laying on my bunk next to the wall, and I see this dude come in with 3 cops behind him. The cops don't escort inmates to the dorms.
Right.
Like you go to classification, they tell you what dorm, see you, go.
Right.
And you walk there. So I already knew something was up. So he goes to the officer station. The officer's like, "You're in bunk, da, da, da." And they put him right next to me. And I knew, bro, right when he started walking over, like he was just one of those dudes that like, I don't know if this happens to you, but like you'll be in a dorm and you just know, like, I need to stay away from that dude because I don't like him, and anything he does, like, I'm paying attention to him because I don't like him, so it's just going to piss me off more. And he was also a scumbag. And then come to find out, when he comes over to the bunk, you get a box with all your stuff and then your property. They dump his box out, the guards, on the floor, and all three piss on his property. They're like, have a great time in this dorm. Come to find out, he had got moved from the main unit to the annex because he was in a relationship with one of the female officers, but he was also a booty bandit. So he liked it both ways. But he liked the booty more than he liked the officer because she wanted to be with him, and it got to the point where I guess he didn't want to be with her, and she wouldn't leave him alone. And so he wrote Tallahassee, which is who you write like grievances to and everything, and ended up getting her fired. Well, that was the captain's granddaughter because they all live in a trailer park next to the prison. So everybody knows everybody.
Oh, this is such a Florida story.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they moved him from the main unit to the annex after he had got out of confinement there. They had been, torturing him, I'm sure. So he comes in, they piss on his shit. He's like, he dries it off with a towel as they leave. He's making his bunk up. And I'm just like, dude, man, this is crazy. Why did they have to put this dude right next to me? All like my boys that I just met in the dorm are coming up. They're like, bro, what are you going to do living next to this guy? And I'm learning everything about him now.
And these aren't cells. This is dorms.
This is an open bay dorm. Yeah.
It's just tons, just bunk bed after bunk bed. No dividers, nothing.
No.
Just bunk bed, bunk bed, bunk bed,
It's a T building, what they call. It was like the officer stations in the middle, they have M1 and then M2, and the officer station separates the two sides. But there's 75 inmates on each side, all open showers, open toilets, open bunks, everything.
Oh, that's great.
Right. And there's 2 punks in the dorm, in there, and he's a booty bandit. So he's like, dude, it got to the point where I'd be on my bunk. He would be on his bunk with 3 other booty bandits, and they would be plotting and arguing with each other about who could go to the chow hall on Saturday and bring back the coffee cake to the punk first. And I'm listening to this as I'm trying to read and like better my life. This dude's like, bro, you ain't finna get her. I'm finna get her. She getting it from me this time. I'm waking up. I'm getting there. And the punk would work out in the dorm, like do booty squats, and they would all be like talking about it. Oh, yeah, okay. And I was just like, dude, there's no way I can do like months on end with this going on. So one night, he just had pushed it to the limit, man. It was like all day and night, this crap. And this is my house. Like, I have to live here too. You know what I mean? Like, you have your own bunk, but we're in the same like vicinity. I'm on the wall, right near the wall, so there's no one on this side of me. It's all him. Yeah. Butt crack hanging out, doesn't shower. He's a booty bandit. He's on every bad thing you can be on in prison. He's on that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's doing that type of time. So one night he had just like disrespected me in some way. I forget exactly. It was just everything, man. And I was like, and I tap him on the shoulder. It was count time. So we're all facing one way on the bunk for the officer to come in. I tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, bro, check me out. I don't care how you're living. I was like, this is where I'm living. This is my house. And none of that shit that y'all be doing every day is going to keep going on over here. And then he's like, well, I've been down 15 years, bro. That's how I'm living. And I'm like, well, when the officer leaves, you need to tighten me up because that's how I'm living. So they come around for count. They count everybody. Take my shirt off and I walk into his cut and we just start fighting. And it was like a short fight. It was probably like, 60 seconds, something like that. So they come in, they spray both of us. They bring him out first because he has like his eyes fucked up. So he has to go to the infirmary. Me, I just go straight to the confinement dorm. It's like, it was like 11 o'clock at night. So they're washing my face off in the dorm. I walk out of the dorm and the warden happens to be at on the compound that night. So I'm being taken across the compound on the grass, handcuffed with 2 officers escorting me. And he's like, hold on. He's like, is that the dude that fought Dirt? Like, they already knew his name. His name was Dirt, bro, if that tells you anything about this guy. So he's like, and he comes up to me. He's like, looking at me. He's like, all right. He's like, who are you with? And I'm like, I'm not with anybody. They thought I was like an Aryan Brotherhood member or
Right.
something. And I'm like, I'm not rocking anything. I was like, I'm neutron. And he's like, all right. He's like, we see what you did. He's like, we like that. Like they were all happy that someone finally beat this dude up. Right. So I get into confinement. I'm in confinement now. I get sentenced. I forget how long it was, but you have to wait till you get sentenced. So they bring him into confinement like 2 days later from being in their infirmary. And right when he walks onto the building, now we're in cells, and it's all cells up top, cells on the bottom. And everyone's like, oh, Dirt, you let that white boy down in 104 fuck you up. He's like, you soft ass. And they're like talking mad shit to him. And I'm just like,
this is getting worse.
This is crazy, man. Now I'm going to have to get out and do the same thing because he's going to feel some type of way about a white boy beating him up. You know, they don't like that in the Florida DOC. So I'm in confinement the whole time. I get out and we get out the same day of confinement, same sentence. So I'm in confinement and I know we're about to be getting out. And like I said, I don't want any more problems. Like I don't have to sleep with one eye open. He's getting out the same day as me. We're already in the confinement dorm when we come out of our cells to get our stuff to go back. And I just looked over at him. I'm like, bro, are we done or is this going to be an ongoing thing? Because we're already in confinement. So if there's going to be a problem, I don't want to go settle into a dorm and then have you come in the middle of the night trying to hit me up or something.
Right.
Let's handle it like men. And he's like, nah, bro, we're good. We're good. But still, even after that, when I went back to the dorm, he was in the dorm across the officer station. So I was always like,
kind of keep an eye out.
Yeah,
for
because
him.
I don't know who he knows. And I mean, I know he's known as a booty bandit.
But at least he's not right. At least he's not 3 feet away from you now.
Right, exactly. And luckily, nothing ended up happening with that. So that was the end of that. And then I ended up getting transferred anyways. So, but yeah, that whole time in prison, like being at that prison was a real prison. And like there was murders, there was everything. And I realized at that point, like prison is not the place I want to go to anymore. Like this is not the life that I want. And then I got out of prison and, you know, even with those thoughts and not wanting to go back, it's from living that life for so long and being the only thing I knew, it was like hard to adjust to being normal and not doing bad crap anymore. And at that point, the database came into effect. So the doctor shopping thing was over with. And I was like, man, what am I going to do with like the rest of my life? Because I thought I was really going to retire selling pills, and it just didn't work out like that. So, yeah, I got out, ended up doing personal training at a gym for a couple years.
How old are you at this point? 30?
I got out in 2014. So I'm 41 now. I was like 34 or something. I don't know, something like that. And so I started working at a gym, doing personal training, and as you know, got married and all that, and started a channel, and that was not a good time in my life either, honestly. Like I was.
How did you reach out to? Because the first time you and I spoke, I remember I was still living in. In the not halfway house, in the rooming house, which is that chick that I was renting me a room. She was renting me a room and a couple other people, but because I know her, I always have a hard time saying it was a rooming house. It was a rooming house. So I was living there, and I remember one of us reached out to each other, and I remember standing in the kitchen looking up your channel and seeing your channel for the first time and thinking, if this was something I could do this. Like he's got one camera. He's got, you know what I'm saying? Like I was looking at some of the videos and I was like, I think I can, and you were doing remotes. Were you doing Zoom? Yeah, Zoom. Like I was like,
yeah, you did not want to do that.
No, I didn't. No, I thought I was fucking too good to do that. I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't like, I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't, I was like, I had this vision of what I wanted, which was never going to happen. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it never works out how you plan it.
Exactly. But I had in my mind, I had this whole thing that I'm still not doing. We're still not doing, because what I wanted was like a production, like a, I wanted this huge production where I'm interviewing people. Like you'd be talking to me and tell me your story, and then I'd go interview, Jimmy and talk about and then we'd interview like you need like a fucking $50,000-$100,000 budget per episode.
I know.
You're never making that back.
Right.
Like that's not, who's going to do that? But I didn't know that. And it wasn't even when I talked to you and I talked to, well, I'd already talked to Concrete, and he had told me, just pick your fucking phone up and start making videos. Slowly get better and better. Of course, you know, what does he know? He's only making a living doing what I want to do.
Right.
Why would I listen to him?
Right.
You're just fucking jackass. And then I saw your channel and I was like, okay, this is kind of like it. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. But then you were doing them in person, or you're starting to.
Yep.
And then you were right down the street.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm right down the fucking street.
Right. And how I know about you, I'm the one that commented on your video because I used to be addicted to American Greed. I would get messed up and lay in bed and watch marathons of American Greed. And I saw your episode on American Greed, and I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw a video on you, I think it was, and I commented. And
I didn't even have my American Greed episode at that time. I think you had seen mine
Dateline
before.
or it was something.
No,
like
I was
that.
on American Greed and Dateline, but I actually have a copy of it now. I can send you the link.
Okay.
I can give you the link and you can watch the original American Greed now. I didn't even have it at that time. I was still trying to get it.
Yeah.
Oh no. I did have it.
Yeah,
I did. It was Dateline. I didn't have Dateline yet. Yeah, you're right. It was Dateline.
I commented
but now
on
I have
your
Dateline
channel.
too.
Oh, okay.
I actually had a guy who worked at one of the affiliates who had a copy, who sent me a copy.
That's
he wasn't
crazy.
supposed to, but he said
he knows now.
No, we don't know who he is.
Yeah, I saw one of your videos and I was like, man, this guy looks familiar. But remember, I saw you on Dateline or American Greed, and you looked a lot different than you do when I saw you on this video. So I commented, I'm like, man, I know about your story. It's awesome. And I think I asked you if you wanted to do an interview or something. You were just starting out. And then, so I started that channel, and I was just married to a savage, bro, and I couldn't get anything done, and nothing was I would do a video and it would be like, you need to do it this way, this is how you need it, and it was just so
but you were making money doing it. That's what killed me, is that you were making thousands of dollars already.
Well, she tried to take the YouTube from me in the divorce, so and she never did one thing for it. And so when all that was going on, I was getting a divorce. She's trying to take my Beamer. She's trying to take my YouTube channel. I have no family at this time. Her mom works for a law firm, so she knows everything about doing a divorce. I'd never been married. Mm-hmm. So, and then she would, dude, it was just like, I ended up getting divorced, going to stay where my grandma used to live, in this house that she died in. And it was just all too much, man, like for me to handle. And like I said, from my past, the only way I knew how to deal with stuff was to pop a pill when I was like feeling like the world was caving in on me, which only makes the problem worse. Right. And then I become someone I'm not even, right?
Right.
So, but when I got the divorce, I'm living in this house where my grandma died in. So my grandma was like my mom growing up, and she was on oxygen. She had fibromyalgia, buried both of her kids. I took her through the mud with all my problems, and she was just, it wore her down. It took, I guess, the life out of her, and she was on oxygen, wouldn't quit smoking. One day lit the cigarette, boom, blew up the oxygen tank, caught her on fire. My step-grandfather's in the front room of the house. She's on fire in the living room, and he doesn't hear anything. And she just burns to death in the freaking living room. And he comes out like 10 minutes later, sees her on the ground, calls the ambulance. They land the helicopter in the soccer field. They take her to the burn unit. She's on life support. I get a call. I'm working at Crunch as a personal trainer. I'm heading home one day. And he calls me and he's like, you need to get to Tampa General. Your grandma's not going to make it. And I was like, what the hell happened? He's like, she was smoking. He's like, you just need to get here. So I go into the burn unit. She's on life support, and family, that's my step-grandfather. So his daughter's there, which I don't like. She doesn't like me. And we basically just said our goodbye. She had a DNR because she was just done with life. She wanted to go be with her kids is what she kept saying. So I'm now living in this house, and the burn stains are still on the wood flooring in the living room. And then I I isolated from everyone. I just didn't talk to anybody and did my own thing. I end up getting into street bikes. I bought a street bike. I start riding with all these dudes. And one night I'm at, and I could, hold on, let me take that back. I could tell right then, I knew something suspicious was with my grandma's death. Like, you guys are married, you're living in the same house, you know she needs you to take care of her, and she burns to death, and you come and find her as it's all over with and just happen to call that. Like, it just all seemed very weird to me. He would never tell me what happened. He never would talk about it. And I'm trying to grieve, and that's like my mom, and he's just like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk. So I was starting to feel some way like towards him about the whole situation. And then this is recent. So on July 3rd, 2023, I was out riding with a GoPro and I was getting ready to go home. And I had texted to say, hey, I'm going to be home in 10 minutes. I pull up to a red light. It's 12 o'clock at night. Nobody's out. And I'm at the light. So I leave the bike in neutral. I reach in my pocket. I grab my phone. I said, hey, I'm 10 minutes away from it. And all of a sudden, boom. A car didn't see me sitting at the red light, and it hit me from behind, going 50 miles an hour, bro. So I'm on the street bike, and all of a sudden, boom, I get hit. The next thing I remember is my helmet is sliding on the ground, digging into the ground with my head like this, going across the ground in the grass. And then I'm out, and I don't remember anything after that. So then I wake up. I'm in Bayonet Point Hospital. My leg is in the air. What ended up happening is I broke my scapula on my back. I broke 5 ribs, and I had a 3 compound fracture to my tibia and fibula. So when the car hit me, it hit me down here, and I guess something on the bike hit my leg, and my shin bone came out the front of my leg. And when that happened, it kicked my calves out the sides of my leg. So
I didn't know any of this.
Yes, I know. And so now I don't know, though, what happened. Like, I don't know the car hit me. I don't remember this. This has all been told to me afterwards. So
what'd you think happened when you first
woke
up?
I thought I wrecked.
Oh, okay.
I knew I was on a bike. I thought it was I wrecked. I didn't really remember like what exactly happened. I just knew, well, now I'm in the hospital and I'm all messed up. The last I knew, I was on my street bike. So I figured something happened. And so I'm in the hospital. I don't have my cell phone because that went flying when I got hit. So I don't have I can't remember anyone's number. So I finally, 4 days later, they had to do 3 or 4 blood transfusions. I mean, dude, I was so messed up, bro. And so I finally figure out, I remember my step grandfather's number, and I call him and I'm like, hey, you need to come up to Bayonet Point. And he had already heard what happened. He knew, and has still not came up to see me yet, though. So he shows up, and he's there like 10 minutes. He doesn't I asked him to bring me some clothes so I would have like, a blanket, a pillow, my toothbrush, whatever. I was going to be there for a while. So he comes in, and he doesn't have anything with him. And then he's like, all right, I got to go. And I'm like, dude, I have no phone. I have nothing. You're the only person that I can count on right now. I really need your help. And he just like acted like it was no big deal. So I started unhooking everything from me. My leg, dude, is completely annihilated. I can't walk. My back, I'm like this. I can't move my arm because my back scapula is broke. So I was like, then I'm leaving and I'm coming home because I'm not staying here because you won't help me here. And I don't want to be stuck here with nobody on the outside to help me. And I couldn't remember anyone's phone number. Like, I'm just been hit. Mm-hmm. So I was not with it. So my dumb ass, against all doctor's orders, leave the hospital because I wanted to go see where my bike was impounded so I could get that out. I was just thinking so stupid, man. I don't know what I was thinking. I end up at the house again. I'm now on the couch. Bro, he didn't bring me water. I couldn't walk. I couldn't go to the bathroom because I couldn't walk. I couldn't move because I was literally stuck in one spot with no help, like nothing. And from me leaving the hospital, I ended up getting cellulitis in my leg.
What is that?
An infection.
Okay.
And they were worried about me getting carpal tunnel syndrome. That's where I don't know, but it's like when the infection isolates itself into one part of your body and then it starts to eat your tissue away, if that spreads, like they were worried about something like that happening. So I go into emergency surgery, and they were doing a debris cleanment of the hardware they had put in from the last hospital. I'm at Tampa General now, and I'm in the hospital bed. I just came out of surgery. It's like been a couple hours. The 7 doctors come in the room. I had a plastic surgeon doctor, vascular, the regular doctor, and I was in the burn unit, which was the same place my grandma was. I was 2 rooms down from where she was. So I was just like losing my mind, bro. Like, it was the worst time of my life. And so the doctor says, hey, in order to save your left leg, we're going to have to take muscle from somewhere else on your body. Where do you want us to go? We can either go in your right quad, or we can go in your upper back on the right side, because that's still safe. And in my head, I'm like, well, this leg's already messed up. I don't want to mess up my upper body, because then at least I have no scars up here. You know what I mean? So I'm like, take it from my right quad. So then I go back into surgery, and they took 10% of my right quad. They cut out the muscle. They did a muscle skin flap transfer. So they cut my quad open, 10% of it, flipped it, and then sewed it on the front of my left leg. So then they took 2 skin grafts from my upper thigh, because I had to put skin grafts over my calf where the calf muscle blew out the sides of my leg. So then and then I had the infection going on. So I'm on vancomycin for 3 months in the hospital on an IV drip, which is an antibiotic, which is horrible for you to be on a long, prolonged time. And I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything, man. I was like, I thought I was going to lose my leg. Like, there was still a chance I had an infection in it. I had to have, the cultures done every Monday, Wednesday, Friday to see if the infection's back. Everybody's coming to talk to me. And I did it all by myself, bro, like alone. I didn't have nobody to get like, hey, I've been in this situation. Let me try to get like, oh, maybe we could do this, that, nothing, bro. He showed up like twice to help me. So I'm in the hospital, and I'm finally done with my last surgery, and I'm able to leave. And I'm like, I'm leaving today. I don't want to be here. I've been there forever. It sucked. It was the worst time. So I go home back to where I'm living, and it just like all started hitting me, I think, in my head. Like, if I'm supposed to be your grandson, right? Like, this was who I grew up knowing as my grandfather. And he wouldn't even bring me a glass of water for days on end. I would lay in the bed, bro. And I was literally like emaciated because I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink. I had no one to help me. It was a mess, bro. I had 2 hoses coming out of my legs with suction cups on them.
For fluid.
Yeah. To suck the fluid out of each leg, my quad and my shin. And
who's paying for all this? There's a reason that easy side hustle feels like a felony. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They've got over 1,000 attorneys, and they've been fighting for the people for over 35 years. That's not luck. That's results. Like this. In Florida, an insurance company offered someone $350,000. Morgan & Morgan got them $12 million. Another client in Pennsylvania was offered $500,000. Morgan & Morgan helped them walk away with $29 million. When you hire them, it's like showing up to a fight with a legal army behind you. And their fee? It's free unless they win. So if you're ever injured and it's not your fault, don't mess around. You can start your claim without even leaving the couch. You can go to forthepeople.com/Matthew Cox. That's forthepeople.com/Matthew Cox.
The first infection I got was at Bayonet Point Hospital. The Tampa General, when I came with the infection, they ruled it as a surgical infection from the previous surgery. So they wouldn't let me leave that hospital because they're the only Trauma 1 center in this area, them and Bayonet Point. And I guess Bayonet Point had already been investigated for cockroaches in the OR room, dried blood they didn't clean up. So they think I got the infection there. And then when I was at Tampa General, I came there at like 11 o'clock at night straight to the ER because I didn't know what to do. My leg was this big, bro. It was huge. And he's like, we need to put you in for emergency surgery. What did you eat in the last like 6 hours? And I was like, I've had nothing. I can't eat, not, you know? And so I go into surgery and before I went in, the OR came in, the orthopedic. And he's like, do you have insurance? Do you do that? Nope, I don't have none of that.
Well, what about the car that hit you?
Hit and run. They still haven't found him.
Oh, shit. I assumed.
No. I'll tell you how I found that out too. But so he leaves the room after looking at my leg. They gave me something for pain. He's like, I need to go talk to my medical staff to see if this is even something like that we can do. And they all came back in the room and they were like, you're young, you're good looking, you still have a life ahead of you. We're gonna do this on USF, like sponsored the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I owe like $280 on, but my bill would have been like $180,000.
Oh,
like what? I think even more than that. So that's when they took me in for emergency surgery and laying in that hospital.
I thought you were going to tell. I thought you were going to say you're young. You're going to we're going to take the leg.
No,
like,
they wanted.
Like,
that was later, bro. Like that was later. They came in after one surgery and they were like, "This infection's so bad, it's eaten away most of your leg. Like you have nothing left for us to work with. We have to go find something from the rest of your body." And that's when they made me choose.
Oh, okay.
My back or my right quad.
Okay.
So now I have 2 hoses coming out of my legs. I'm done with all the surgeries. It's been 3 months. I haven't walked in like 5 months. I haven't even stood up because I can't bear weight. And I leave the hospital. I go back home to where I was living with my step grandfather. And that's when I realized, like, if he could do this to me, I can't imagine what my grandma was going through because she relied on him for all the help. She has so many health issues, you know what I mean? And I knew that he was not helping her then because I would go over there and she would be a complete mess, has an eaten, like mess everywhere. So I'm just laying in my bed and like, it's just all hitting me like, dude, this is crazy. I may never be able to walk again. I'm talking to no one. I've already isolated myself from all the people that were my friends. So what am I going to reach out now and say, hey, you know, I can't walk, come take care of me. Like my pride just wouldn't let me do it. I don't know why. And so I just laid there, bro, for months on end. And then I forget what had happened, but I was with this girl prior and she worked for wound care. She was coming over to do my wounds. And one day she had taken me to lunch. And on our way to lunch, there was this dude calling her phone nonstop. And I'm like, who is that? And I'm still messed up in the car with the wheelchair and everything. So she's like, it's this guy. He won't leave me alone. So I was like, here. And I grabbed the phone, like, bro, stop calling her. She doesn't want to talk to you. And I was like, and then he calls back. I was like, bro, if you call again, I'm going to fucking kill you. Like that. So he calls the cops on me and tells the cops that I threatened him. Right. So I'm on the couch at 2:00 in the morning, screaming in pain to my grandfather to help me, get me some ice. I need to put my leg up. This is like, I was just in so much pain, Matt, like the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And he was just being of no help. And then he was like, I'm going to call the paramedics. And I was like, I was just at the hospital. Like they can only do so much. I need you to just help me do normal things so I can, you know, get my leg from stop hurting. And he calls the paramedics instead. So he calls paramedics and he orders an ambulance to the house. Well, when he did that, there was cops listening in on the radio and they heard my name as the patient that the ambulance is going to. And I had a warrant. Bro, they charged me with written threats to kill. Because I texted him, I'm going to kill you. That's what happened.
I was going to say.
I texted him and I said, I'm going to kill you if you keep calling. You're freaking annoying, Well, he called the cops and they had a warrant out for my arrest for written threats to kill, which I didn't know. But that's a 2nd-degree felony that carries 56 points, which is 56 months that the state can give you in prison. So I'm like, when the cops come, the ambulance is in the house. They're like, we need to get you to the hospital. And as we're talking, I'm talking to the ambulance guy. He's like, what is that? And the ambulance guy like looks over to the front door. And because he heard something, I didn't hear it. And he's like, I think someone's out there. And he opens up the front door. There was 4 police officers listening on the front window in my front door what we were talking about in the house. So one of the cops come in the front door and I'm on the couch. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Nobody called you. He's like, you got a warrant. And I was like, oh, you're going to take me to jail. He's like, yeah, you have a warrant. That's what we're supposed to do when you have a warrant. And I was like, they were listening in to the ambulance. I'm there with this ace bandage covering my legs, so they can't see
how bad it is.
How bad it is. So I couldn't even touch it before when the ambulance was there because it was so much pain. I couldn't even show them because it was that painful to take the ace bandage off. It had dried to my skin graft, so when I would take it off, it would pull the new existing skin trying to form on my body off. Bro, it was pain beyond belief. And so I moved back on the couch and I showed my leg. I took the ace band. I'm like, you're going to take me to jail like this? You better be prepared to have a lawsuit on your hands. And they saw my leg and they were like, they just turned around and walked out. And then another cop comes in and he's like, if you let the ambulance take you to the ER right now, we will leave. And we're not even supposed to do this. He's like, but with the way your leg looks, he's like, you are kind of right that we would have a lawsuit. So we're going to let you heal up, take care of your leg, but we'll be back.
Right.
So I go to the ER. I'm now in the ER for like 3 weeks. Don't hear nothing from the police. I get out and I know I have this warrant, but my leg is so messed up. I'm afraid to go to jail because I don't want to get an infection. And I need to go back in to have my staples taken out at 130 staples. And jail's a dirty place. Yeah. So I call a bondsman and I give her the money to post the bond. So I go to the bondsman. She takes me to the jail. I go into jail and do a walkthrough and I come back out. So now I'm out on bond with all this shit going on. So, dude, I don't know what it was with my step grandfather, man. I think he was just.
How old is he?
He's like 80.
Oh, okay. Well,
but he's in very good health.
Okay.
And
so it's not like he's not mentally there. He is mentally there.
Oh, well, as far as I know.
Okay.
So, I think what it was, bro, is he was like, I don't want to deal with this.
Right.
He doesn't have to. You know what I mean? I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, this is my family, dude. Like, I thought I could count on my family to help me when I was in a need where I would actually need them to help me. And I came home with these staples on my leg. I'm on the couch. He wasn't helping me get to the bathroom because I have to wash this all off, wound care, all this stuff I have to do. And I couldn't even get to the bathroom. I couldn't even get him to help me to get there to do that. So I slide off the couch and I'm on my butt trying to like scoop myself into the bathroom. And I look down at my leg and staples are coming out of my leg. Oh. And now blood is coming out. So now blood is all over the place. And I'm screaming on the ground in so much pain. I'm like, please help me. Please, I don't care whatever you're mad about or whatever. Please look at my leg. And I had this walker. And I think he got off on just seeing me weak, bro. So I had this walker and he rolls it over to me and he just goes, boom, and hits me while I'm on the ground with the walker. He's like, get yourself there. So I was like, this mother. So I think I was just the adrenaline of being so fucking mad, got up, got on the walker, and I walked over to him. And I said, you are the reason my grandma died. Now I clearly know that you did not help her in the last years of her life. And as I'm saying this, he just goes, oh, and falls on the ground. And he's like, you're going to jail now. And he calls the fucking cops on me and says I hit him with my walker. But I have a video on my phone of him hitting me with the walker. So I'm in jail, bro, with no bond, with 120 staples, 2 hoses, and 2 suction cups, and I have cellulitis still in my leg. So I'm like, bro, what am I gonna do? I couldn't get out of jail. I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I was just like, I'm just gonna plea out all these charges and get out as quick as I can and get back to the ER so I can get the rest of my leg fixed and my whole body. And so I had 2 charges, the written threats to kill and a battery. And then they split it into 2 courthouses. So I have to go to 2 courthouses, 2 separate dates. I would have never pled out to this, man, if I wasn't in the situation I was in. I had cellulitis. The jail would do nothing about it. So my leg was literally going to rot itself off. So I took probation to get out. So I signed probation in both courthouses for the same county. I don't know how they get away with splitting it up like that. But So now I get out. I have nowhere to go because there's a no contact order now. I can't go back to that house. All my stuff is in that house and I can't walk. And I'm standing outside the front of the jail. And I don't know what to do because I need to get to I don't even know how I'm going to like do that. And so I haven't talked to one of my stepbrothers in forever. And I just happened to call him and he happened to pick me up. I was in jail with a dude I knew whose girlfriend was out and he was still in. He drove me to 7-Eleven on 54. I get in the car with this guy's girlfriend. I don't even know who she is. She's like, you can stay with me. Everything will be fine. I'll take you to the hospital. So I'm like, okay, well, she lives in Pasco. I have to go to Tampa General. I go to check in the next day to probation and my probation officer's not there. So I see some random guy and he's like, you know, your probation officer will be back in a week. They're on vacation. And I'm like, well, I got to go to Tampa. I'm not allowed to leave the county because I'm on probation. I have a curfew and I have to have a permanent address. And I don't even know who the hell I'm staying with. Mm-hmm. And I have to leave the county to go to, so I end up leaving the county and I go to to Tampa General. When I'm in there, I find out that my probation officer came to that house because she had got back from her vacation and I wasn't there. So she violated me for leaving the county because I finally got in contact. I'm like, I'm in the hospital. I'm going in for surgery. She's like, well, you didn't tell me, so I don't give a shit. So she violated me for not having a permanent address because the lady said that I didn't live there, and then violated me for leaving the county. So I'm in the hospital now. I just got out of jail. Now I'm in the hospital again for about a month. And not even a month. It was like 3 weeks. They did the surgery. I recovered. I was supposed to go the next day after being released to outpatient. And I get picked up by the police. So then I go back to jail for 4 more months. And a screw that they used for the hardware came out the front of my leg. So I'm in jail with a screw with an Allen key on the end of it hanging out the front of my shin bone, like where my shin should be. And I'm telling the medical staff, I have a screw coming out of my leg. Oh, I have somebody coming to the door with 2 ibuprofen. They'll be here at 8 o'clock. I'm like, what? So I'm putting all these grievances in. I thought I was going to lose my leg again. So I got reinstated. The judge saw my leg. I go to court. They saw all the hospital records, everything. I was still not able to walk at that point. And they reinstated my probation.
Okay. When was that?
This was 2 years ago.
And you're obviously healed.
Yeah,
right?
I got out. I went to the hospital, got everything, was able to apply pressure to my leg after they removed the screw. They sutured that up. And then I started to learn to walk again. And that took me about a year.
Well, how did you find out about the hit and run?
So when I got out of the hospital, when I left from being, against medical advice, I went home and I told my step-grandfather on the way home, I wanted to stop at the 7-Eleven on the intersection that the ambulance picked me up at because that's where I knew something happened. Yeah. And I went in on a walker trying to get into the store by myself. It wouldn't even help me do this. And I was like, do you have the security cam footage from July 3rd? And she's like, why? And I was like, because I got hit. She's like, oh my God, you're the one that got hit. She's like, I heard the impact from the store, working inside the store from the intersection. Mm-hmm. So what had happened was I was sitting at the light and this car, I guess, didn't see me, hits me. I flew 192 feet and ended up sliding into the ground into these woods that were on the side of the road. My bike went through the woods. It kept going through the woods. And ended up at some bum camp that was in the woods. They were all living at this bum camp. So they came walking out. They found me. They stole my cell phone. They stole whatever shit I had on the bike in the compartments. And then they called the 911. And they were the ones that told the ambulance, he got hit by this car. It was black. It was 4-door. They hit him. They slowed down. And then I guess once they realized that he was like, they had flew him into the woods, they took off. Right. And that's the only information I got from that. So
the 7-Eleven didn't have the footage?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But they knew all about it, you know what I mean? So yeah, and it's been a journey, bro.
So once you got back on your feet, you started another YouTube channel.
Right. Yep. I got back on my feet. I didn't even know if I wanted to do YouTube again, but having a record and just like, luckily I met a sane, normal female, my girlfriend. And if it wasn't for her, bro, like I don't know what I would have done. She honestly is like, you know, helped me with so much. So
when did you start the YouTube channel?
Like 7 months ago.
Okay.
So yeah, I do. You obviously know. I know. Yeah, it's just emotional, man.
No,
like, it was a lot,
bro. Fucking, I cry once a week.
I had to go through a lot to be able to walk again. I didn't think I was gonna walk again.
Do you limp?
No.
I mean, because I haven't noticed anything.
No, it's just that was part of the hard part, man. Looking down, now that's my leg. Like that's on my body. So it's like, you know, if it was you, I could be like, damn, like probably like how you do. But so that was a struggle too, like having a deformed fucking leg. You know what I mean? Especially all going through life trying to, you know, lift weights, look good.
Yeah.
And then, so it was a lot of like, you know, just insecurities on my part. And like, I didn't want to start doing the YouTube till I could walk and I could be normal again. And then just everything going on. I had to pay probation. I had to do all that, you know, go through jump all through the loops that they want you to do. So.
Are you on probation now though?
I have 1 month left. I've paid everything. Just went to court. I'm going to be off. So.
Well, you started your channel.
Yeah.
What, 6-7 months ago? So
I started, it's Doctv Unleashed on YouTube, and maybe Colby will put a link up.
Yeah, we'll put a link.
Yeah, so I started doing that because...
It's already got like 13,000, 14,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's growing good, right?
Yeah, that's fast.
Yeah,
that's fast.
So...
that's fast, and you're not going on anybody else's channel. You haven't been on a bunch of channels.
This is the first channel.
Yeah, bro, if you went on some other people's channels again, it you know?
Yeah, I was, and then I like always wanted to call you and stuff, but then from the way like everything was, it was just like, I was just embarrassed, you know? And then
well, you know,
that marriage, bro, like was the worst.
Yeah, she was horrific. I mean, cause you know, she every once in a while, she would text me, you know, when you guys were going through it and say just fucking horrible things. And it was always you. And then, which I kind of understood, it was you, you know what I'm saying? Just because of the whole addiction thing and the whole, you know,
you're played right into her story.
Right, it's perfect. But then,
I show up like being a retard.
Right, but then I started realizing like, oh, you're unhinged. Like you're abnormal. Like the things that you're saying at this point are no longer something that a sane person would say. And I mean, just...
She called me in the hospital on Messenger and knew what happened and said, I hope you lose your other leg, fucker, and then hung up on me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's very vengeful, you know, like not like somebody you would think was in love with someone at one time. Like, I don't hope anybody...
Right, yeah. I've never been like that either. Right. Bro. Like, you don't like me? Okay, well, it didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out. I hope you find happiness and, you know, somewhere else.
Well,
like, that's
she tried.
Fine.
And she got pregnant with a dude.
Oh, really?
A year after the
week,
you know, she went on Tinder, found the next one, and then got pregnant, and he beat her up during the pregnancy, all through it, and you know, so she left him, and she's tried to get when I got out the first time, and I had nowhere to go, and I had to get to the hospital when they violated me for leaving the county. I'm at that lady's house, the guy that I told you, I went to the lady's house after jail. She found out I got out of jail. She, I guess, had known, and she had messaged me wanting to, like, acted like she cared about what was going on with me, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, I'll take you to the hospital. That lady doesn't need to. So I'm like, okay, you can take me to the hospital. They take me to the hospital. They tell me, like, I have to go back the next day to go in for surgery. And then it just all started again. You move in with me, do your YouTube. You go in that room. I'll do this. And then you can just give me the money that you make from the YouTube and I'll help you while your leg's like, and I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be with you. Right. Like, and then that's when she, you know, she started talking shit again and getting all crazy. So,
well, I remember, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so then I get violated and I go back to jail and I stopped talking to her. Haven't talked to her since then.
Right.
And she's sending me message on the tablet. She knows where all my stuff is in storage at. She has the key to my storage unit and is wanting to go there. And like, she had already tried to steal all my stuff, my mics, my camera, my computer, everything, bro. So luckily my new girlfriend, I called the storage unit and I was like, do not let anybody in his storage unit. We need a new lock, new keys. And she ends up showing up to the storage unit, tried to get in, she couldn't get in. So she's sending me messages on the tablet saying, I know you need help. I'm going to help you with your storage unit, But the whole time she's trying to rob me. So I never messaged her back.
Right.
Never talked to her again. Got out this last, like 2 years ago. And she starts messaging the new girl like that I'm with. Just trying to, oh, you want your dog back? You want your dog back? You can have your dog back. Like she's like hitting me up saying these weird things. And I never messaged back because I'm done.
Well, I remember when you had lost your phone and she thought it was outside. And she came to the house and I've been in the house like a day or two. Comes to the house, is walking around the front yard, gets the neighbors to help her. Oh yeah, gets the neighbors to help walk because she's got the
Find Your iPhone.
Find Your iPhone.
Yeah,
she's walking around. She's like, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, it's out here somewhere. I'm like, well, I'm sure it's off. She's like, if it's off, it's only by a foot or two. And I'm like, okay, well, are you sure you checked the house? I'm like, well, I mean, I looked through the house. Like, I mean, sure. Yeah. So the phone, I end up. A week later, 2 weeks later, I find the phone.
I remember
or maybe it was a month or so. Whatever it was.
It was like a month.
Yeah, it was a while later. It was in a closet in the corner, right? So I find it, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I get it. I take a picture of the phone, and I send it and say, does anybody want to buy an iPhone? Look what I just found. Does anybody want to buy an iPhone? Something like that. Like I'm joking around, like, look, I found your phone. And then she's, I'm sending Josh to come get it right now. You come and get the phone.
Yeah, she had told me that.
And then she leaves, she sends me, like, I say something, whatever, a week or two later, I say, hey, what's going on with Josh? Because you weren't answering your phone. I had texted you or something. You're not answering. I'm like, what's going on with Josh? Oh, I'd seen your car got wrecked or something. Yeah. So what's going on with Josh? And she comes back and she makes some comment about, what do you care? You were trying to sell his fucking iPhone. What kind of a friend are you? Like, it was a whole thing. And I was thinking, trying to sell your, like, it was a joke. Yeah, I'm not trying to sell your, why would I send it to you asking to sell?
Do you know what happened with that car?
No.
So that was a $44,000 car paid off. Okay. I paid it off. She didn't pay anything, bro. And when we got divorced, I had to have it insured under her name because of my driving record.
Right.
It just was going to be too much. So when we got divorced, I had 30 days to get a new insurance company, right? Because that's how when you cancel and come off a policy, they give you a 30. She paid thousands of dollars to get it canceled that day and didn't tell me. And then I got in a wreck and I had no insurance. So the whole car totaled out. 44,000.
Yeah, there's something not right.
No, bro. Not her. Yeah. So during that whole time of knowing you doing the first channel, like I don't even feel, I watched my videos and I'm like, bro, that's not even you. Like I was so like, had someone in my ear, you need to act this way. You need to say this. You need to talk this way. You don't need to talk to him. He doesn't like, it was just, bro. And now I know how crazy it was because when you go from that and then you get put into a normal relationship and none of that happens, you realize like, okay, like that really was freaking crazy. And I look even now, I'm like, I can't believe I went, like I should have just left. And I don't know why I did it. I still don't know. Blackmail.
So you got your channel up. It's starting to do well. You're doing what? A couple videos?
Yeah, like 2 a week.
2 a week. What are they like 30 minutes or an hour?
Doing interviews, and then I'm doing like some documentaries, some true crime stuff, but mostly the interviews, like kind of what you do here, but obviously on Zoom right now.
Right. Yeah, because you would just start doing them in person. Are you gonna start doing that?
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. I just haven't like set it up. I'm gonna interview that guy Poet. So that'll be in person.
Yeah.
And then the dude with the water, the boiling water.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, there's a few other guys too. Like we can give you other names of guys that there's a couple smugglers and guys that are local. Like there's some guys that are local that just drive up.
Okay.
What was the one guy? We had the one guy, the smuggler, who he was pretty good, older guy.
Was it the pilot or the boat?
Yeah, no,
you're talking about the
wheel pilot. No, this was a pilot.
Oh, okay.
And he did well. He got a few 100,000, and I think he started his own channel too.
Yeah, like my old channel, I was focused on like I gotta be this convict and da da da.
The whole
and
prison.
I'm so done with that, bro. Like I don't care what anybody thinks about anything I've said or my past. Like I'm not the toughest. I can lose everything. I'm no special than anyone, bro. Like, and I think it took all that for me to see that. You know what I mean? Like when it humbled me is what it did. When you have nobody and you can't walk and you can't even, like, imagine right now you cannot walk for the rest of the day. Like, what would you do? Like, you have to have somebody. And when you don't have that, you sit with yourself for a minute and you realize, like, I need to be a better person.
Yeah. How did I get myself to this situation?
Right. Like
you don't know. It kind of makes me think of it's those. You ever go to Ybor City and some guy comes up to you and goes, "Hey man, I got a job. This is a scam. I got a job. I'm from Orlando. I came here with a group of people, but they left me. I got into an argument with them, and they left me. And I need $20, or I need $10, $20 to get a bus ticket back to Orlando. Could you help me out? I'll take anything." And so you think he has a job. He's just in a bad spot. Let me give this guy $5 or $10, right? He's got to get back to Orlando. He's got a job on he has to be back by Monday. He doesn't know what to do. And so initially, your initial thought is, oh, let me help the guy out. But the truth is, if you reverse it and put yourself in that guy's
why'd they leave
position,
you there?
Well, first of all, why'd they leave you?
Yeah.
And I can think of 10 people right now that not only would send me money, and let's assume I lost my cell phone, I don't even have money. I can think of 10 people that I could call somebody that could call somebody that could call somebody that 10 people that will jump in their car and drive. We're only an hour and a half. Right. They'll drive an hour and a half to pick me up or send me money, Cashapp, whatever. Like, how are you? What kind of a person are you that nobody will come get you?
Mm-mm.
Like, do you see what I'm saying? So, so that's kind of like where you're saying I'm sitting there and I'm thinking I got nobody. How did I get myself in this situation where nobody will help me?
Right. Yeah.
You do have to kind of sit back and go, wow. For
well,
me to
I just
have
don't
nobody,
have any family is what it was. And
it doesn't sound like you had any real friends that would help you either.
She ruined all that.
Yeah.
I mean, and the way I acted too. Like it wasn't just all her. I'm not going to blame it all on her, but she was not a help in this situation.
Yeah. Well,
I started getting high again when we got divorced, and then I just isolated, and I wasn't a nice person to be around.
It's kind of the same thing when I went to I kind of had that epiphany when I went to prison. It's like
no one's going to save you,
and nobody's coming to see me.
Right.
Like all these people that I was making money and I thought were my friends, and I made this guy $500,000. I made this guy probably made $1 million. This guy made hundreds of thousands of dollars. All these people, none of them are coming to see me. And I thought they were all friends, but the truth is, when you start looking back on it, I started thinking, nah, bro, what kind of a person are you, and who are you? Not just them, but who am I that I'm hanging out with people that are only hanging out with me because I'm making money? I don't have any real friends. The only people that really came to see me were people I never did anything for. Childhood friends.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like the people that you've never done anything for, they're calling, they're writing letters, they're coming to see you. People that I thought should hate me. My ex-wife coming to see me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People that are just like, oh, this woman never coming to see me. She's come to see me every month or every other month. Yeah. She'll tell you she can usually come every month. That's a lie. It was every other month at best. But anyway.
You realize like you need to change not only who you are, but like how.
Yeah, and who am I hanging out with? Right. I need to hang out with good people that want to hang out with me because I'm a good person.
Right. And I didn't. I mean, I did some, like a little bit, but like you said, I just,
Well, I think things get much easier in life for you mentally when you start thinking everything is my fault. Yeah. I'm the one that, so-and-so did this. No, I put myself here. That's when, you know, and you're appreciative of the little things you have, and being humble and appreciative, and just kind of thinking, what did I do to contribute to the situation I'm in? And I think my mind got kind of
blurred.
I got in a better place when I started
when you
thinking,
started thinking about it.
why am I here? I can point at everybody else, but the truth is that I'm the one that made those decisions. You know, I'm the reason you hate me. I'm the reason, or at least
it's
I
hard
contributed.
to see that though when you're in it. You know, like it takes that something drastic to happen for you to really see like your part in everything.
Well, if you have to kind of try and say, how did I, at the very least, even if you can say, no, I didn't do anything, this person did this to me, if you at least kind of tell yourself, but how did I contributed in some way? Why was I here? I knew this was a bad place to go.
Yeah.
Why did I get robbed?
Even have been there.
Right. Why did I get robbed?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like, hey, I was hanging out in Old Hyde Park and I got robbed. And it's a nice area and I was doing everything right. Yeah. No, I was next to the projects and this guy buying dope and this guy robbed me. He's an asshole. What were you doing in the project buying dope?
I know. Yeah. I haven't gone that far into it, but yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't think that way. I think you start feeling better about yourself if you think that way. It seems strange, but it does put your head in a better spot where you start thinking, I got to make better fucking decisions is what I got to do.
Yeah. And like when I couldn't walk, it was really like, man, this is crazy. Like
that's horrible. That's like being, I'm here. You ever get sick in prison? Like get a cold in prison?
Yeah.
The worst.
I know. There's no help.
There's no help. Nobody gives a shit. It's horrible. Nobody's there to baby you.
You got to heat the seasoning packets up in water for like broth and shit.
Oh, it's horrible.
Soothe your throat.
So I can only imagine being on the couch with nobody to help you and you can't even walk. That's got to be 10 times of being sick in prison.
Haven't showered in 3 weeks. When I'm used to showering twice a day. Like it was just, bro, it was a lot. Yeah. And then it was just a lot, man. It was the worst time of my life.
I just met your girlfriend. Yeah. She seemed very nice.
She's very nice. She's a blessing, man. Nothing like.
You got a channel going?
Yeah.
You got your head on right?
Yeah. No, it's all great now. Like, but going through all that, man, I didn't think I was going to get through it. There's many times where I was like, this is the end, man. Like,
you got to get to the point where YouTube's your full-time gig. That's what you need. Your full-time gig being YouTube.
I know.
Then it's just all cake. Then our biggest
I'm
problem.
Right there. I'm almost getting ready to do that. So
listen, our biggest problem is just scheduling guests that will show up. We actually had we had a guy the other day.
Crazy.
Listen, we had a guy that actually had a super cool story. It's not like a random guy that talked to me and I said, yeah, come on the pod. Like I didn't talk once. We talked multiple times. I've read the articles on the guy. Listen to this. It was an economic espionage. That was the charge. Sent me his indictment. That's a cool I've never heard that. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Had to read the articles and had talked to him on the phone for an hour and a half. He explained this whole thing where he was working for I'm going to say GM. I don't know if it was, I think it was GM. I sent Colby the articles too. He was working for GM. He and two other people. I think the other people were a couple, but let's say just two other people. And somehow or another, they end up getting in contact with car manufacturers in China, which is basically the government. Because in China, all corporations are partially owned by the government. So they have the ability to go in, they have to bounce everything off these people, like political officers. And so they end up communicating with these people. They steal, I want to say that GM estimated it at being 20 million?
I was thinking 40.
40 million?
Between 20 and 40.
20 to $40 million worth of internal kind of secrets. Let's say secrets. I forget what they call it. But things that they were doing and manufacturing that they were doing that was specialized. And they were like trade secrets, okay? $40 million worth. The two of the people, I read the article, they got arrested. He explains that he got arrested, but they did time and he didn't. So I'm assuming
he flipped.
He cooperated, right? So then I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be even better. Like this is going to be a whole how? And I was like, the whole time I'm thinking, how do you even get in contact with someone? And I asked him that, and he goes, "Oh, bro," he goes, "You have no idea." He said, I didn't get in contact with him." He goes, "You're going to be fascinated when you find out what happened." So I'm assuming that they contacted him and convinced him and these people to do this. The point is, I'm excited, and I've never had it happen before. I talked to him the night before. I texted him the night before. He said he's excited. He will be here. said he was already in Miami. He would be here in the morning when he's supposed to be here. Colby and I show up.
Never heard anything.
Texted him, hey, bro, what's your
crazy.
ETA? Nothing. Then 20 minutes after he was supposed to be here, I said, bro, it's 20 minutes after. What's going on, man? Just what's happening? Nothing. Never responded ever again. First time that ever happened.
That's wild. If you didn't talk to him the night before, I could maybe see it. But
I got
that's
the text. I'm excited. I'll be there.
The
absolutely.
quality of human, bro, is just
Really
slowly
diminished.
lowering every year.
But we're also lucky. That's probably that's the only time we've ever been sitting here and someone hasn't shown. Typically what happens is we schedule 4 or 5 interviews a week. That's where we're at now. We schedule, let's say 5, and we get about 3 or 4 a week. We post 2. We have a little bit of a backlog.
Shorts.
Yeah, of course we do the shorts and everything, but I'm saying for the actual interviews. So it's good. Most people show up. But at this point, it's just getting quality guests that can tell their story in an entertaining way, and that's it. Like that's my biggest problem is getting quality guests that can tell their stories.
I can talk good.
Yeah. well, we have lots of guests that are extremely articulate, but they just can't tell their story. Like you might have a story, you might have a $100 million Ponzi scheme, and you get here and they sit down and they want you to
pick it out of them.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. So yeah, you say, okay, well, where are you born? And they're like, oh, I was born in Georgia.
And then doesn't say anything and looking at you.
Tell me about your family. And you're this,
yeah.
And they'll tell you, mom this, such and such, no brothers, no sisters. And it's like, yeah, bro, oh shit, this is going to be. And then it gets to the point where you start really and then, Colby's got to piece together a 2-hour video into an hour and 10 minutes, and it still sucks.
And then you have comments, and they're like, "Why do you keep interrupting?"
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I got to steer him.
Yeah, well, this guy wouldn't tell his story. He can't tell his story. He doesn't know his story.
I know. I hate that.
But yeah, so it's great. I mean, at this point, this is great. This is where you got to get to, where this is all you're doing, and you just it's just about getting the guests.
That's the goal, man. I'm trying to get
you're this close.
I'm trying to get where you're at.
Nice.
I shouldn't have stopped the last time. That was my problem. But I was just, like I said, it just wasn't the right time, man. It wouldn't have worked out, I don't think. But now I saw the light. Nice. Literally.
Hey, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified of videos just like this. And also go to Josh's channel. It's Doctv Unleashed. We're going to leave the link in the description box. You can go there. You can subscribe. He's got a bunch of videos. I would really appreciate it if you would go and do that. And please consider joining our Patreon. It's $10 a month. It helps Colby and I make these videos. Plus, if you want to be a guest, we're going to leave the link to our website, and you can go there, and it says be a guest, and you can go there and you can fill out an application and leave a short video, and we'll get in touch with you. Thank you very much. See ya.